It's always an honor each year to recognize our military veterans. This year we are also recognizing personnel from our local fire departments, 911 center, emergency personnel, and law enforcement. On our vacation this year to Myrtle Beach, it was right after Hurricane Florence, we got to see the National Guard in action setting up barriers to hold back water and bridges to float on the rivers. We saw the local fire departments taking families to their flooded homes to see if there was anything for them to save. And we saw the local law enforcement emergency personnel rescuing families and animals from these homes. It made me really appreciate my own local community emergency personnel and everyone involved with that, because seeing the flooded conditions that the people were in, I realized what all these people have to do to help people like that. Being raised in my house, my father expected us to respect all veterans. So many of our family and neighbors had served and were serving in the military. With Veterans Day in a couple of weeks, please thank a veteran for their service. Their service and sacrifice gave us our freedom. Please appreciate it and don't take it for granted. The next speaker is going to be Kevin Corbin, North Carolina House of Representatives, District 120.
Thank you, Rhonda. I was thinking as I came up here, I'm very proud to represent Macon, Clay, Cherokee, and Graham County in the North Carolina General Assembly. But I'm even prouder of the men and women that serve in these organizations that we're talking about here. I want you to think about this just a moment. If you go to your job and you wear protective clothing or you wear a bulletproof vest, you deserve an extra measure of respect from all of us. So I want you to give all these groups a nice hand. We're going to recognize them individually, but let them know how much you appreciate them. Ronnie Beal and I have the first part. So I was proud to serve 6 years as a county commissioner with Commissioner Beal, and so I'm going to recognize him to recognize these first groups. Would you welcome Commissioner Ronnie Beal?
Thank you very much. The county has a lot of very valuable departments, but these four, when you're in trouble, are the ones you're going to call. We'll talk about EMS. If you're with the EMS service, if you'll please step forward. Everybody's working. But here's a little bit about EMS you might not know. They cover 517 square miles of Macon County. They have 3 main stations. Of course, Franklin, Highlands, and Nantahala. They have set new records every year for calls, beginning in, let me just give you some statistics, just a few numbers. In 2014, they responded to 6,087 calls. This year, in 2018 so far, they have eclipsed that number by 2,000. So, to tell you about our EMS stations and the availability of ambulances, and when you hear some 911 numbers, you'll understand why. Our EMS, under the direction of Warren Cave, has been recognized statewide, and so you're very proud. We hope you never have to use it, but if you should, be very proud of your local EMS station in Macon County. They now have about 38 full-time employees and about 27 part-time employees, and I'd say by the end of next year, we'll have another full-time crew. That's the demand that's on the EMS. So if you see any of these folks, thank them for the job they do. They are averaging about 4.5 trips if you take the average to Mission and back every day. So they work very hard. So thank you very much, and give these folks a big hand from EMS. Our 911 coordinator is Mr. Todd Siegel. We have one of the most modern 911 systems anywhere in North Carolina, anywhere in the Southeast. Our 911 calls are averaging, some weekends average about every 47 seconds. A 911 call comes into Macon County. Sometimes it averages not so much. But during the busy time, it's not unusual to have a 911 call at least one a minute, or several every minute. So this is Macon County, folks. If you'd have told us that many years ago, we'd have said you couldn't believe that. Todd does a wonderful job with his 911 operators. If you ever make an appointment and want to go see what you've invested in your 911 and why it's so important, contact Warner Todd and he'd be glad to show you why it's so important. So you might not know your 911 operators, But if you want to see somebody multitask, go watch some of these folks work on a busy Friday, Saturday, or Sunday night. So give these folks a big hand. We still have 11 fire departments. It's the best deal in Macon County. We have about 342 volunteer firemen that if they was on the tax rolls today, you wouldn't be the third lowest tax rate in the state, I'll assure you. Our local firemen do a wonderful job. And some of you in this stadium, I'm sure, has had to call a fire department at some time. Most of them now have a man stationed every day, a first responder that have saved many, many lives. So our fire departments are wonderful. They have wonderful leadership. Jimmy Team is our fire marshal, and they do a wonderful job. They're guided by our fire commission, our local fire commission, and so whatever community you live in, your fire department will come and respond to you. We hope we're seeing lower insurance rates. They just had some of the best rates ever with their last, when they had their last inspection. So we hope you're seeing that on your insurance. So give the fire departments a big hand. And certainly last but not least is all of our law enforcement officers in Macon County. Every day, you know, you hear of things that happen in our community you never dream of. The law enforcement officers certainly don't do it for the money. Our sheriff's department, our local police department. So those calls, they've already had more calls through July of this year than they had all of 17, to give you an idea. So those calls continue to increase. And if you want to see how dangerous the calls are, if you saw the gun calls that the sheriff's departments went on, you would definitely be surprised. So if you see a law enforcement officer, thank them for what they do. It's like Kevin said, when you put on a bulletproof vest, you're doing a different job. So these are some of the folks that protect Macon County. Thank them, and we appreciate it. And they look forward to serving you. So thank you very much. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Tommy Kay.
Well, Rhonda usually writes speech for me, but she didn't tonight. She said wing it. So the thing is, we usually have our banners down here in front of the different veterans. We're all veterans. We're all served. We might not be the same force. I'm Navy. Captain Cupper's the Navy. We have Army, Marines, the Coast Guard, Air Force. We've got them all. So we're all brothers or sisters in the same uniforms. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Captain Cuppers. We were both submarines. I never got to serve under him. I wasn't on fast attack. I was a missile tech. But this man has served our country greatly, and I'm proud of him. Captain Cuppers.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Just want to say just a second a few things about these folks standing behind us, particularly in the military hats. These guys are my brothers. These guys are my heroes. These guys have always had my back when I was growing up in this community. They went places and saw things that are unbelievable. And what I'd like you to do is when you see one of them, just thank them for that. And the other thing you can do is tomorrow night, there's a presentation at the Fine Arts Center here on the campus. It's called Brothers Like These. It's being put on by the Vietnam Veterans Chapter 994, the VFW, and the American Legion. I would encourage you to come out to that. The focus is PTSD. The focus is what our soldiers go through and what we don't see. And before I stop here and wrap it up, the reason I'm so sold on this particular thing is that I've learned through the summer that I'm not as sensitive to this as I should be either, because we lose 22 veterans a day to suicide in this country. That is too many. And we need to focus on it, and we need to fix it. So thank you to all the veterans, and please come out tomorrow night, 6:30, Fine Arts Center. We hope you'll join us. Let's enjoy the ball game.
Very good. Thank you.
You can buy a red one, a blue one, any shape, size, or price, on a lot, online, or even from a vending machine. What and how you buy has changed a lot, but one thing has never changed. You buy it from somebody, and the people make the difference. upfront pricing, market-based trade-ins, service after the sale, and never ever any games or gimmicks. That's the Smoky Mountain way.
And these are the Smoky Mountain people. Smoky Mountain Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 556 Highlands Road in Franklin.
You don't have to train like it's the biggest game of the year. That's nonsense. Use 1040.com. Your taxes, smart and simple.
Still works out well for us, George, as we are going to kick the football off here and receive it in the second half, which is customarily what Coach Josh Brooks likes to do.
We welcome everybody on Facebook and YouTube now, on the YouTube and Facebook page of Backlot Cinema's Facebook and YouTube. I believe we've got all the audio issues. There were some issues there, but it looks like we are now live with the audio and the video feed on Facebook and YouTube. Looks like Smoky is coming on to their end of the field, and we will go ahead and take our final break here on the Carolina Junction Power Equipment pregame show. Come back and kick it off across the Franklin Panthers Sports Network.
Come on. Let's get it.
Byron. Test 1, 2, Byron.
Yeah.
Did you say it was nice out here tonight? The wind's blowing 10 miles an hour. It's raining.
Welcome back to the pit. We are just about set to kick things off as the band heads off the field. And Franklin comes on to kick it away. The first half kickoff is brought to you by Elite Truck and Performance, located at 43 Mashburn White Road in Franklin. Go by and see them for all of your truck accessory needs. It's Elite Truck and Performance. Sam Conway will tee it up to kick it away to the Mustangs. Back deep to receive for Smoky tonight is Cole Lamb along with Dustin Stevens. Stand back at their 15-yard line awaiting the kickoff from Sam Conway as the band makes their way into the stands. Conway waiting for the official to give him the signal. There it is. And Conway approaches the football. And we are underway in the Battle of Cowee. It is going to be a short kick, angled far side, picked up at about the 25, up to the 30, 40, almost the 45-yard line goes Cole Lamb. And the Mustangs will have great field position for their first offensive possession in this game.
Guys, important stat tonight I want to throw out there right here on the top of the broadcast. Josh Brooks tonight is going for his 100th win in the last 10 years as the head coach of Franklin High School. That is 10 wins per year. That's astounding.
So the Mustangs will officially scrimmage from their own 43-yard line. 1st and 10. Some issues with looks like a football. On this near side, they are talking to the coaching staff, the officials are. Mike, you have any idea what's going on?
No, I don't. You know, we're not on offense. He's asking about a football, the side judge here. Can't quite figure it out. Because each team supplies their own golf, not golf balls, footballs.
Yeah, that's an important part. Somebody listening at home, usually offense provides the football.
Yeah, and the referees check them out before the game, make sure the inflation is right, and they're legal. But they're coming to our sideline for the ball. I didn't understand that, Byron.
Now we're set. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. They'll take out and hand in the backfield, going nowhere. They're hefty. Running back, Will Frady. He had no chance. Going to lose about 2. Back to the 41-yard line. It's going to bring up 2nd and 12.
Couple of matchups tonight. Watch Bailey Watts. Probably going to stay with Mr. Lominack, number 4. Another receiver to watch there for Smoky Mountain tonight. Number 14, the sophomore Dustin Stevens.
James Henson works out of the gun, drops in the pocket, looks to fire, does it a flat. It's complete. Near side 50, cuts it up into Panther territory. Those Dustin Stevens, as he's going to be very close to a Mustang first down. He's going to be a yard shot, going to bring up 3rd down and short.
A little extra on that the other day in film study. Bailey was told he will match up with number 4 tonight. Little cheer came out from him. He was ready for the challenge tonight.
10 minutes, 54 seconds as the clock ticks. Opening quarter just underway here at the Panther Pit. Now we've got whistles, and it appears an official's timeout on the near side.
Going for a measurement, I believe, George.
Well, they got the ball spotted over here, and that's not where the ball should be.
CNI measurement. Okay.
Now they're going to bring it from the far side to the near side to see if this is a first down. Portions of tonight's game on WFSC brought to you by Dodge Packaging Specialties, your hometown commercial and industrial supplier. Paper towels, janitorial supplies, packaging materials, safety materials, and a lot more. Serving Macon and surrounding counties for over 35 years. 369-7584. It's dodgepackaging.net. They're going to stretch out the chains, and it's going to be a first down for the Mustangs. They will move the chains at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, Mike, just to second what you're saying there, we will see Bailey, the senior, match up with the senior Lominack for Smoky Mountain. Question will be tonight, number 14. He's going to get a lot of attention too, but has not drawn the assignment like Lominack has.
10 minutes, 50 seconds as the clock starts to roll. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. They'll send trips up top as Stevens comes in motion. Panthers blitz off the left side. Handoff goes near side, 40, 35 to about the 30-yard line. Will Frady picks up another Smoky Mountain first down.
It looks like we got a red jersey there at the point of attack. Mike just got a little deep and couldn't get his arms wrapped around the running back.
Yeah, easier said than done over here on the sideline, you know, but that tackle should have been made behind the line. Coach Trey Wook, linebacker coach, blowing a little smoke here. We need to make those stops tonight to stop this high-powered offense.
Shotgun again for Henson. Trips up top, one to the near side at 4 wide set. Going to take the shotgun snap and just a quarterback sneak. Henson across the 30 down to about the 27-yard line. Henson gains about 2, maybe 3 yards. Going to bring up 2nd and 7 with 10:13 in the moving clock. First quarter scoreless here at the pit.
Henson is an interesting option to keep the football himself. Goes a good 200 pounds back there at the quarterback position. Maybe 210, 215.
Under 10 minutes remaining. They'll stack receivers to both sides. 4 wide set. Henson shotgun again. Grabs the snap. Drops in the pocket. Now going to be flushed out near side. Going to heave one. Incomplete at about the 24. He was trying to hit Stevens again. It'll bring up third down.
You know, the one thing I can tell you about the quarterback there for Smoky Mountain, Mike, I think you'll agree with me, quick release that kid has.
Man, quick release, and like watching film all week, Byron, he'll throw the ball with 2 or 3 defenders hanging all over him. Reminds me a little bit of that old Kentucky quarterback. I can't think of his
Jared
name.
Lorenzen, yeah.
Yeah, big
well
kid.
built, yeah, good arm.
And
sneaky athletic, too.
Yeah, so Matt Bradley, defense coordinator, said we got to stay with these receivers. Don't come off him or he'll release the ball.
4-wide set. Henson going to drop in the pocket after faking the jet sweep. Going to be flushed out 30, looking to fire downfield. Has the receiver. It is caught at the 14, out of bounds at about the 12-yard line is Emmett Baldwin. We've got whistles and a flag, it appears.
Are they going to say he crossed the line of scrimmage?
Looked like it to me. You know, that was a 3rd down and 8. I think he did. Byron, did you see anything up top there?
It was close. It was close. I know this much. He looked like he's done that a lot.
Ineligible receiver. White, downfield.
Ineligible receiver is going to be the call. Lyman had already released and headed downfield before the pass was thrown by Henson. So
yeah, to finish that thought, I mean, Henson looked like he knew where that line was, so a little puzzling to me. I thought if he did cross it, he obviously was mistaken where it was at, but it wasn't on him. It was a illegal receiver downfield.
Yeah, it looked like he threw it at about the 29, and then the line of scrimmage was, I believe, the 27 or 28.
Right.
After the penalty, he's going to push it back to the – still marking it off here. We're going forward. And a mark it officially at the 34, it appears. 9:37, opening quarter. 3rd down and 14 now for the Mustangs at the Panther 33. Henson shotgun as he sends a man in motion. That's Stevens. Grabs the snap. Here comes the blitz. Just going to heave one up. And it's going to be incomplete. Tyler Harrison had a bead on it. He went up but couldn't come down with it at the 15.
Mike Wood, number 14, Smoky Mountain. Dustin Stevens, he made a nice little play at the end to keep Tyler from catching that one, looked like to me.
Yeah, 14 ran a little wheel route. They set it up pretty good. The ball was so lofted high in the air, Tyler had time to get there. That's a dry football, guys. We picked that off.
So Smoky's going to punt.
Into a gale, with a gale.
Henson, rugby style, hits it about the 5 and Kareem's into the end zone for a touchback. So the Panthers take over at their own 20.
Mike Wood, you went in and called me out at the break. Let's go ahead and tell the folks now.
Yeah,
weather conditions have changed a little bit.
I heard you in the warm-up there, up there in that mobile home with the heat on, saying it was nice down here. Man, it's blowing about 15 miles an hour. It's raining or snowing. I can't quite decide, and it's galing down here. It's frosty down here, Byron.
I see the rain now in the lights. We can't see much of anything except our reflection back in these windows. They got the lights on. 9:20 to go. First quarter, we are scoreless. Panthers take over at their own 20-yard line as Gibson will settle under center.
Personnel issue. Gavin Riddle trying to get on the field.
10 seconds on the play clock. Panthers will get it out of there, and a pitch will go to Isaac Dewey across the 24-yard line. Gain of 4 for Dewey. 2nd and 6 coming up.
Certainly something we want to do tonight. Mike Wood had trouble with it last week. That's running the football.
And, you know, with the weather conditions down here the way they are tonight, we've got to establish a ground game. Worked on it all week. Inside the tackles, tough running tonight against a good Smoky defensive line, Byron.
2nd and 5. They'll say he got up to the 25-yard line. 8:47. Clock ticks. Gibson under center. Takes out, pitches left side now. Dewey weaving his way to 25. Cuts it up. Maybe a yard. Going to bring up 3rd and long for the Panthers.
Stringing that out a little wide was Isaac Dewey right there. Of course, again, we always say it's easy to call it from up here. But on a turf that's not really stable, he's going to have to probably turn that up the field a few times tonight and just take a yard or two when it's given to him.
That play we ran right there, Josh feels like that's a winner for us tonight, where he sets up the H-back on the left side. We've got an extra blocker. We just got to hit it a little faster.
3rd down and 5. Flea flicker. Back it goes to Blake Gibson. He heaves it. Near side, jump ball, and it's going to be incomplete. Bailey Watts was there along with a couple of Mustangs at about the 47. 4th down.
Back there on the coverage for Smoky Mountain. was, I believe that's Will Sutton. No, I'm sorry, Emmett Baldwin. Ball a little underthrown, hung up in the air, and that gale force wind that you call, Mike Wood.
Yeah, it ate it up, and then, Coach Josh is on Bailey just a little bit. He's a senior. Got to come up with that ball. He had a chance to get it.
Panthers will punt. Their own 14. Gibson awaits the snap. It's back. Gets it out of there. Nice one. Going to angle it far side away from Stevens. Gets up into that gale force wind, and it's going to go out of bounds where? About the 40? Yes, sir. That's where the official will mark it, and that's where the Smoky Mountain Mustangs will take over. First down and 10. We've got 7 minutes and 53 seconds to go in the first quarter. We are scoreless. Portions of tonight's game on WFSC are brought to you in part by the fine folks at Tassingers. Floor Coverings, Carpet One. They work with over 1,000 stores to get the best prices and the best service around. Go by and see Big Billy Hanley for all of your floor covering needs. It is Tassingers Floor Coverings, Carpet One, located right off of West Palmer Street in Franklin. Shotgun again for Henson. He's going to take out hand to Frady. Frady going to bounce out of there and find a seam, taking a couple of tacklers with him into Panther territory, all the way down to the 40-yard line.
Just simply going to have to do a better job tackling Mike Wood. Frady is a compact built running back, and you're going to have to get a hold of him early on.
First and 10 at the 40 for the Mustangs. Twin receivers at the near side again. Shotgun for Henson. Wing right and Will Frady. 5 down linemen for the Panthers. Henson just going to take off right up the gut on the quarterback sneak for about 5 yards to the 35. It'll bring up 2nd and 5.
One of the things I did notice on film, Mike Wood, they use the jet sweep a lot of times just to extend that defense and make you have to defend from sideline to sideline, and then they're able to bust it right up the middle with a big kid like Henson.
2nd and 5, ticking towards 7 minutes remaining in the opening quarter. Scoreless here at the pit. Again, shotgun for Frady. Stevens goes in motion. Grabs the snap, hands to Stevens, spins, grabs a first down along the way, 30-25 to about the 22-yard line. Stevens is shifty, guys.
Shifty, quick, and like I said at the very beginning, there's a reason we are kicking away from him, and you will see him get a lot of touches tonight.
Yeah, and the last 3 tackles, defensive backs are making the tackles. We got to get that interior line, getting a slow push on that. Can't have the defensive backs making all the tackles tonight. Won't be good.
6:35, clock ticks, first quarter. 1st and 10 at the 20. Firing in the hashes at about the 10-yard line, complete. Henson to Stevens for a gain of about 8, maybe 9 yards. It's going to bring up 2nd and short for the Smoky Mountain Mustangs. They're going to mark him back at the 13.
Go, Josh. Come on, baby.
Clock continues to tick. We're down to 6 minutes and 10 seconds left, first quarter.
Shut him down, Bailey. Let's go.
Smoky marching in the red zone now. 2nd and 2 from the Panther 13. Frady shotgun. Going to grab the snap. Right up the middle. Will Frady to about the 9-yard line. It's going to be enough for Smoky Mountain Mustang first down. It will be.
Smoky Mountain right now getting the surge up front they need to run the football, guys.
The 1st and goal at the 9. 5:51 first quarter. Clock continues to roll. Scoreless, but the Mustangs threatening. James Henson shotgun again as Stevens goes in motion. It was a high snap, hand to Frady, but he is going nowhere. In fact, he lost a couple of yards.
Senior Josh Blackburn, Nick Appel, and Jesse Siegel there stopped that dead on the line of scrimmage.
Frady's a big boy. Takes a couple of people to get him to the ground. Back to the 10-yard line, loss of a yard, 2nd and 11. 2nd and goal, rather. 5:16 remains the opening quarter. Firing in the flat, complete at about the 4-yard line. Cody Lominick caught that one and went to the turf. Gains right at 5, maybe 6 yards. It's going to bring up 3rd and goal. Under 5 minutes remaining, opening quarter. Mark it back at the 5. 3rd and goal for the Mustangs. Twins near side. As the clap by Henson gets the Panthers to jump.
Had the blitz on there. Nick Appel a little anxious over on the right side. Cross the line of scrimmage, flag goes up, guys.
Here's the
Dead
official.
ball, offsides on Franklin.
That'll be a half the distance penalty. And it'll push it to the 3-yard line. 3rd and goal. So we can hear the wind picking up in our outside microphone. James Henson, shotgun. Grabs the snap, hands to Stevens. Stevens in the backfield, going to bounce it out. Still in traffic. He is crawling his way to the end zone, and he is in. Touchdown, Stevens, with 4:26 to go. First quarter, Smoky strikes first at 6-0.
Jet sweep to the right there. Everything was clogged up on the right, guys. He bounced around like a video game, found his way back through the center of the defense, jumped over the line for 6 for Smoky.
Waiting for the point after. Going to be attempted by Juan Yanez. Snap is back. It wasn't very good, but they got it down, and the kick is up, and it is good. 4:26 to go first quarter. It's now Smoky 7, Franklin nothing. We had to break across the Franklin Panthers Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Bryson Burt with Homestar Mortgage. I am a direct mortgage lender, and I finance dreams. Are you ready to buy a home? Good news, I can help you achieve the dream of home ownership. We have programs that can allow you to finance the dream with 0 money down. Here at Homestar Financial, we take pride in helping our clients find the perfect mortgage that fits their needs. If you or anyone you know is looking to purchase a home, let me help finance their dream. Call me today or stop by my office.
One deep, and it's going to be caught on the far side and out of bounds at about the 33-yard line. There's a lot of moving parts, but the Panthers will take over at their own 32, down 7-0 with 4:20 to go in the opening quarter.
Mike Wood, was that an intentional pooch kick or was that a miss?
Looked like intentional to me. Kicked it right to number 7, Harvey there, and pretty good field position here. Starting on the, what are we on, Byron? 32, 33?
32, yeah.
Gibson under center. He's going to take out in hand to Tyler Harrison. Right up the gut goes Tyler Harrison. 40-41, close to a Macon Furniture Mart first down.
Great job by Tyler Harrison. Takes it off right side, follows his block. I think his coach wanted his lineman in front of him to get his rear end out of the hole there, but great job of Tyler following his block through the hole for a big 9-yard gain.
3:55. Clock is stopped. It was not enough for a Panther first down. A yard shy. 2nd and a yard. Gibson under center. Hands first back through. That's Price. Right up the gut he goes to about the 47-yard line. That'll be enough for a Panther first down. Move the chains as the clock stops. 3:41 to go first quarter.
Seth Price, a little quick hitter there. Gets about 4 or 5 yards and a first down for the Panthers. Seth Price, guys, played great defense last week, too. I think leading tackler on the team.
Smoky up 7-0. Panthers work quickly. Pitch goes to Harrison. He's going to be caught up in traffic and dropped for no gain on first down. That'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Panthers. Portions of tonight's game on WFSC are brought to you in part by Swain Collision and Auto Body. They repair all vehicles from the small economy cars to the big trucks to the big RVs. And they work with all insurance companies. They will store your auto just like it never happened. Back to action quickly. Swinging it out, complete Cochran at the 50 into Smoky Mountain territory to the 45. Going to be close to another first down. I think he's going to be shy, and we've got a flag in the backfield. It'll be a yard shy of the line to gain. We'll check the marker now. Here's the
we had 12 men on the field. Illegal participation. Smoky.
12 men on the field for Smoky Mountain. Will they take the play or the penalty?
Guys, while they decide, I want to remind everybody, FHSPanthers.com is where you can find the Backlot Cinema feed tonight, and also scores of not only this game, but some other games there in the Mountain Six.
Participation on Smoky. That penalty's declined.
Hey, Byron, we got a minute. Just want to say happy birthday to you, brother. I think you're 41, 42 today, right in that zone. Happy birthday, man.
29, but thanks.
29 and holding. You didn't know, Mike? Second and a yard.
Looks like a rough 29.
And right up the middle, Seth Price picks up the first down to the 41-yard line. That'll move the change. It looks like, guys, on this drive, it's just smash it right up the middle and beat your man.
So quick, let's call the 30 dive. It's zone blocking right in the front there, and no reading or anything. Right off the right center. Chris Hedden doing a nice job in there with Josh Blackburn and Sean Dunn.
2:40 to go, first quarter on a bootleg. Gibson going to roll near side, fire incomplete in the flat, trying to hit Price at about the 39. It's going to bring up second down and 10, and Price was open.
Not his best throw, but one Seth got a mitt on, and certainly, like you said, George, one that was open there for some yards after the catch.
Clock stops the clock. 2:34 to go in the first quarter. 7-0 Smoky here at the pit tonight. Has the rain stopped, Mike, or is it still coming down?
No, the rain's kind of stopped a little bit, a little misty, but not bad out here at all, guys.
Second and 10. Gibson takes out. He's going to hand in the backfield to Tyler Harrison. Harrison weaves his way to the 36, maybe the 35-yard line. Gains right at 5. It's going to bring up third down and manageable now. Third and about 5.
Another young man with incredible effort last week, Tyler Harrison. Dylan Cochran, some names off the top of my head, guys, that really played like they wanted it last week.
2 minutes, 7 seconds left, first quarter. Smoky up, 7-0. Panthers, though, driving at the Mustang 35-yard line. Third and 5, trips up top, shotgun for Blake Gibson. As Harrison goes in motion, high snap, Gibson rolls near side, looks to fire. Finds Mason Sequoia at about the 32, and he is going to head out of bounds right at the sticks, but I think he's going to be about a yard shy, Mike.
Yeah, let me get down in here and take a peek.
Guys, that ball was tipped somewhere around the line of scrimmage, it looked like, and it's like a changeup. Mason Sequoia had to wait for the ball to get there, so that sort of messed him up in terms of getting to the sticks for the first down.
And we had to have somebody run a wrong depth route because we had two receivers right together. That doesn't happen in Josh Brooks' offense. But a good tip on the line there and a good catch by Mason Sequoia.
Looks like they're going to bring the chains on from the far side.
Guys, while they do, want to mention on that Mountain Credit Union scoreboard right now that Brevard and Pisgah are tied at 7 apiece in the first quarter.
Bring the chains all the way from the far side to the near side. And we'll stretch them out now with 1:49 to go, first quarter.
Yeah, baby.
And
yeah, baby.
get the credit card out.
Come on.
First down, Franklin.
That was close, guys.
You were selling it, though, Mike.
Oh, yeah.
You were selling it. Hey, guys, real quick, Mark Sutton wanted me to announce to everybody, Franklin Termite football went undefeated this year. They play in the championship tomorrow against Robbinsville in Andrews, North Carolina. So we want to wish those young kids good luck.
They'll get the chains set on the far side. Panthers scrimmaging from the Smoky Mountain 31-yard line, first and 10. On this cool and a bit damp evening. First weekend in November. Second to final day of daylight savings time, by the way. Tyler Harrison in open space. Nifty move across the 30, 25, down to about the 24-yard line. We've got a flag at the end of the play.
Afraid they're going to get Bailey Watts out there for holding.
Yeah, I think you're right, Byron.
You know, that play was a little weird. It took Tyler a minute to get to the corner, Mike. And the kid who was sealing off that block, I don't know if that was Blackburn or somebody.
10-yard penalty, spotted the foul.
I don't know if that was Blackburn or the guard that pulled, but whoever was had that end sealed. He left his block about the time Tyler got there because I think he thought Tyler had already gone by. So Tyler was a little slow getting onto that second level.
Well, you know, it looks slow out here because they're playing similar to Pisgah. They're playing flat. They're working lateral, waiting for the back to make a cut. And then attacking the running back there. They're not coming upfield real hard on us tonight.
Will be a spot foul and pushes it back to the 36-yard line. 1st and 15 for the Panthers. Gibson going to roll near side. Throw one complete at the 35, 30 to about the 22 as he heads out of bounds. Goes Seth Price and gets a bunch of that penalty yardage back. In fact, he got a little more than the penalty yardage. Gained about 12. It's going to bring up 2nd and 3 for the Panthers.
Just seems like any time you get a little, it's like when you get sick and you know that one medicine you can count on in the cabinet, George. That little rollout and throw to the fullback in the flats is one that we work to perfection.
Well, you know, we work low to high. If the low is open, he's trained by Josh to give it to him. If he's not, he goes to the 2nd level. Right there, Seth Price wide open in the flat.
2nd down and 2. Hand right up the middle. Price to the 20-yard line. I think he's got enough for another Bacon Furniture Mart 1st down. That'll move the chains. The Panthers are marching into the red zone now with 61 seconds left 1st quarter.
That play's working a lot better than it did last week. You know, last week Pisgah had about 600-700 pounds on that defensive line right there in the middle. So looks like Chris Hedden's able to move that nose guard, that 31 dive, pretty successful tonight from short yardage.
Yeah, no disrespect to that front line at Smoky, but it is not what it was last week.
Twins up top, split backfield as the swing pass goes over the head of Cochran at about the 20-yard line. Again, it is a wet football out there, and that just slipped through his hands.
Wet football, and Blake did get that a little high to him, a little hot and a little high. But it is the complicating things is the wetness, dampness tonight, Mike.
Yeah, not his best throw this season for sure, but they practice that every single day in practice 50 times. That should be completed tonight on Friday night.
37 seconds left in the opening quarter. 7-0 Smoky. Panthers driving at the Mustang 19. Bring up a 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. Again, split backfield as Gibson directs traffic. Cochran goes in motion. We've got whistles at the snap. Timeout going to be called by Franklin. We'll steal away for a quick one. Back after this on the Franklin Panther Sports Network.
The WNZ Sports Zone is your official headquarters for everything Franklin Panthers. From pullovers to shirts and hats, you'll find it all at Sports Zone. From college to the pros, they've got a large selection of hoodies and sweatshirts at Sports Zone. And they can handle all of your screen printing, engraving, and embroidery. The WNZ Sports Zone, located in the Franklin Plaza Shopping Center. Open 9 to 8, Monday through Saturday.
Back to action as the Panthers will swing one out to Coleman Saunders. He's going to pick up the 1st down inside the 10 down to about the 5-yard line. It's 1st and goal.
Nice little play, good throw, great catch, and some good blocking, Mike.
Yeah, quick Z swing. It's a quick hitter to Coleman Saunders there, and he's very elusive in the open field. Broke a tackle and picked up the 1st down, guys.
Down to 19 seconds on the 1st quarter clock. Panthers on 1st and goal at the 5. We'll send a man in motion. Gibson hands to Price. He goes right up the middle, fighting towards the end zone. Did he make it? The officials come in. No signal yet. Touchdown, Franklin. Ultimate truck and golf car. Touchdown. And with 0 seconds left in the 1st quarter clock, it's 7-6 Smoky.
Same thing there, 31 dive, which is a quick hitter right to the left of Chris Hedden in the left guard. And Seth Price, number 28, sophomore, kept churning those legs to get over the end line for 6 for the Panthers.
Bennington's paint and body PAT about to be attempted by Sam Conway out of the hold of Blake Gibson. Waiting the snap. It's back. The kick is up. And the kick is good. We are tied at 7 as 1 quarter is in the books here at the Panther Pit. We'll take a break across the Franklin Panther Sports Network. Here at the pit, 12 minutes up on the scoreboard as we begin the second quarter with a kickoff. Franklin just scored the final play of the first quarter. PAT was good. We are tied at 7 as Conway kick it away to the Smoky Mountain Mustangs. It's the signal from the official. He approaches the football and the second quarter is underway. Going to send this one deep, angles it near side, picked up by Lamb at the 10, 15, 20. Lamb crosses the field at the 22, then reverses field, and now he's going down. We'll see where they mark him. Was it forward progress? Now they're going to mark him back at about the 17-yard line. That's where the Smoky Mountain Mustangs will take over, 1st and 10.
Definitely the worst field position they've had tonight. So we'll see if we can't capitalize on that as a Panther D. Guys, 4.5 minutes or so on that possession for the Panthers, leading to a score.
Twins to the near side and twins up top. 4 wide set for the Mustangs. James Henson works out of the gun. Looks at the far side. Possibly change the play call. Wing right, Will Frady. Grabs the snap. Hands to Frady. Frady going to push it far side. Crosses the 20, 25 to about the 27-yard line. He's going to be close to a Mustang first down. We'll see where they mark him. Looks like he's going to be shy of about a yard.
Frady, a real compact build of a running back, Mike, but has some quick, choppy feet around that line of scrimmage, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he has a nose for the open hole, you know, and he's got a huge legs and a butt, real strong lower body there. Stays low to the ground, finds his hole. Seth Price, linebacker, made a nice tackle on him, but I think that's going to be a first down, guys.
They're going to bring the chains on and measure here. Portions of tonight's game on WFSC are brought to you by April's Flowers on Main. Go by and see April Chastain for all of your life's events. It's April's Flowers on Main. They handle anything from the small arrangements to the big special events. Go by and see her or give her a call, 524-3223. That's 524-3223 for all of your life's events. It's April's Flowers on Main. It's going to be short here of a couple of inches, a couple of chain links. 2nd and inches coming up for the Mustangs.
Yeah, Mike, you talking about the legs? Hold on 1 second here. Legs and rear end of Henson and Frady. If we were doing a fire truck pull, we might be outmanned for Blake Gibson and Tyler Harrison.
This is dangerous, you know, 2nd and short. They only have inches, so you got to figure they're going to probably bomb one here, knowing they can get the first down on a quarterback sneak on the next play.
Great point. Pack it in there. Henson just going to push it forward on the quarterback sneak, pick up the first down to the 29-yard line. That'll move the chains. As the clock stops, 11:14 to go, second quarter. We are tied at 7 here, fans, on a cool and damp November evening here at the pit on the final regular season night for the Panthers. The state of North Carolina, though, doesn't start the playoffs until the 16th because of the hurricane. Delayed a lot of games on the eastern side of the state 2 weeks before the playoffs begin. Hot snap for Henson. He grabs it, though, hands off to Frady, and Frady's got a seam across the 40, the 50, moving into Panther territory to the 40, 35, and finally wrestled out of bounds at about the 35.
Man, just a lot of blocking there by the white shirts. Frady, a heck of a running back, George. He just followed his guys, ducking and bobbing and weaving around back there. He's doing a great job. Franklin Panthers going to have to tackle in 2s or 3s on Mr. Frady.
Yeah, the center took out Jesse Siegel, opened a huge hole. Linebacker missed a tackle, and there he goes down the sideline.
4 wide set. Henson shotgun again. On 1st and 10 at the Panther 35. Henson drops in the pocket all day, heaves one to the end zone, and it's going to be picked off. Coleman Saunders picks it off at the 5, weaving his way up to the 10, the 15, and he's going to be hit and dropped at about the 17-yard line. Panthers get a turnover.
Tell you, that kid has a knack for the ball. Byron, number 14, Coleman Saunders,
he
senior.
Can do so many great things. And, last week, of course, he caught a ball. And I don't know if you guys saw the picture of the ball. He ended up losing it. Defender took it away from him. It got so high. Man, he's so athletic, got a nose for it. What's funny right there is number 4, Laminack, tried to draw a pass interference call. Sort of almost looked like a little bit of a flop up here, but back judge didn't bite.
Swing pass complete to Bailey Watts, and then he fumbles it at the 15. Flag comes in, and it's recovered by a teammate. Looks like that's Cochran who recovered the fumble. Let's check the marker. A lot of things happen on that play.
Heads up play there by Cochran, no matter what happens.
Dylan Cochran, man, he has earned his keep this year, hasn't he,
Oh,
Byron?
my goodness.
He's around the ball, offense and defense, everywhere.
5-yard face mask. Smoky.
So a face mask on Smoky Mountain. That'll be a 5-yarder. It'll be 1st and 5 coming up in the 20.
And guys, Bailey never looked comfortable with that football right there, did he? I mean, I don't think he ever had a firm grasp on it.
I don't know if he glanced his eyes over at the defender first or not. It is wet and slippery down here, but heck, he's been catching these out here in the senior for 3 years out here in the pit. Need him to step up tonight. Big senior, Bailey Watts.
10:20 to go, second quarter. Todd at 7. Panthers scrimmaging from their own 20-yard line.
And he goes from a previous spot.
All right. So it's going to be 1st and 5 from the 20. Gibson under center with a split backfield as Cochran goes in motion. We've got some movement across that defensive line. Was he drawn off?
Nope. On the offense.
Going against the Panthers. Legal procedure.
I think that was a left tackle, Mariano Perez, a little anxious. I know him and the Josh Blackburn were talking about their blocking assignments. This week, Josh says, I don't care if you point to the guy on defense and say, I'm coming after you. They were communicating. He may have lost track of the snap, Byron.
So it's make that 1st down and 10 at the 15. Hand going to go right up the middle for about 4, maybe 5 yards. That's Isaac Dewey. Gets to about the 19. Call it a 4-yard gain. Going to bring up 2nd and 6.
Chris Wilburn, the sophomore, comes up, fills the gap for Smoky Mountain, delivers a hit right there, too.
Clock continues to tick. We're down to 9 minutes, 40 seconds left in the second quarter. Todd at 7. 2nd and 6. Gibson under center. He takes out. He's going to hand it Dewey again, right up the middle. Pretty big hole. Dewey fighting his way towards the 25. That was a line to gain. He may have got there. Still fighting, and finally the whistle blows. We'll see if it's enough.
We need one of those Panther 5-6 minute drives here to close out the second quarter.
We do, but what we also need, Mike, is make sure we hold on to that football. There's a lot of fighting going on there after the first contact. Easy for that ball to squeeze out.
Good call, Bob.
It's going to be just short. 3rd and inches. Gibson takes out, hands right up the middle once again for the 1st down and more. That's Price to the 31. He's slung down.
Woo, he was one tackle away from going for some yardage there.
He's upset, too, that he couldn't shake that tackle.
Yeah, and give credit where credit's due there. 61, Clayton Frady, who they don't have his numbers on here. The kid is humongous. He was the only thing between Tyler and a touchdown possibly right there.
1st and 10 at the 31. Clock continues to roll. We're down to 8 minutes and 42 seconds left in the second. Todd at 7 here at the pit. Gibson under center as again Cochran goes in motion. Hand Isaac Dewey. Dewey slung down at about the 32 near side. Gains, we'll call it 2. 2nd and 8.
Isaac runs right into the back of his blocker, and after he collected himself going backwards 2 yards, Mike, he was met by the Smoky Mountain defender.
Yeah, too slow developing. The offensive line was staying on their blocks pretty good, too. Just too slow to get through that hole. The hole opened up for a second and then shut down. Got to have a little bigger burst coming out of that backfield.
2nd and 9, 8:05 to go in the second. Twins up top near hash. At the Smoky. Check that the Panther 33. Franklin will hand off to Tyler Harrison. He's going to fight his way to the 35 for a gain of about 2 yards. 3rd down and long coming up.
Need a big play right here, guys. I like the way we're moving the ball.
Yep. I think you got to look for number 9, Bailey Watts Sr. here over here in man coverage against number 12.
3rd and 6, and we've got movement.
Goodness, guys.
Across the offensive line, and that'll be a 5-yarder.
False start, Franklin.
That hurts. That puts us behind the sticks there. Mason Sequoia Sr. jumped off sides, right tight end.
Just we're killing ourselves with the little stuff right there.
Yeah. We've got to look at the positive. We stopped their momentum with that interception. So even if we can flip the field, guys, not get the first down here, get a good punt, and then our defense go out there and shut them down.
And you certainly don't want to force a throw right here either, because they've got some guys on the back end of this defense that can intercept it and go back as well.
3rd down and 11 after the penalty. Trips up top, one to the near side. Shotgun for Blake Gibson. The senior grabs the snap, drops deep in the pocket, now being flushed out. And he's going down. All the way back to about the 20-yard line. He'll be sacked for a big loss, and here comes the punting unit.
Big 55. Jacob Woody is going to be the man with the credit on the sack there, but there was somebody coming from that other side, George. I didn't catch the number, but just enough pressure to flush Blake out of the pocket. Never really had a chance to look at anything downfield.
Yeah, he was trying to hit a little drag right across the middle, let all the motion go to the right, a little drag coming back across the left, and then he was covered like a blanket. Nowhere to go.
Gibson stands at his 13, awaiting the snap to punt it out of there. David Stevens, let's check that. Dustin Stevens stands at his 50.
Yeah, good punt.
Nice punt. Going to drive Stevens all the way back to the 35. He picks it up and then takes off across the 50 into Panther territory and out of bounds at about the 42.
Back guy back here missed a block in the back, guys. I thought he was going to pull for that flag, but he let it go.
Well, the Mustangs have great field position in Panther territory. They're going to mark it at the 40, it appears. 1st and 10, 6:15 to go, second quarter, and we are tied at 7, fans.
That shows you what speed will do for you too, Mike.
Yeah.
A step slower, that punt gets by him, and it's still rolling.
I didn't think he was going to catch it. It was over the shoulder. He caught that punt. In these field conditions, 4 wide set, trips near side, one up top. Henson shotgun, grabs the snap, got a hand off to Frady. In traffic, Frady is chopped down at the line of scrimmage. No gain, 2nd and 10.
Big Gavin Riddle coming out of there.
Man, he's had a good year. Hadn't he, Byron? Number 52, senior Gavin Riddle.
He's had a great year. Matter of fact, there's one game in particular. There's everything we could do not to make him a Y Insurance Player of the game. Yeah. Great season.
You ought to see him in film study, too. He is totally focused in film study, watching his opponent, understand the techniques. Good player, good kid.
Do you ever figure out who the pizza delivery guy was?
Byron.
2nd and 10. Again, 4 wide set. Henson got on fired in the flat, complete at about the 33. Immediately going down is Lomenick. Gains about 7 or 8. He's going to bring out 3rd and short.
Nice little open field tackle over there. Was that Bailey Watts on the tackle?
Other side of the field, I couldn't tell, Byron.
I think it is. Knowing what we know about the assignment, yeah, that's Bailey over there.
Working from the far hash, 3rd and 2 for the Mustangs. Henson, shotgun, 4 wide set. And movement. Looks like it's going to go against the Panthers as they jumped into the neutral zone.
Yeah,
to be offsides. Going to go against Franklin.
Announcer's jank there, Byron. Number 52, Gavin Riddle jumped. A little anxious.
These little 5-yarders have been in the wrong spot.
Penalty for offside. First down.
First down for the Mustangs. Mark it at the 29-yard line. They got a 4 wide set. Henson, shotgun, hands to Frady right up the middle, and he is upended after about a 5-yard gain.
Nick Appel tackled him below the knees, which is about the only way you're going to be able to tackle him solo. But again, stress to the folks at home. He is built very big. He's very big and round. Hard to get your arms around a kid like that. LCG, right, Mike? Low center of gravity?
That's right.
2nd and 6, gain of 4. Far hash at the Panther 25. And again to Frady. Frady in traffic to about the 20-yard line. He dives, 2-yard shy on the line to gain. 3rd down and a couple for the Mustangs. 4:20 clock tick, second quarter. We are tied at 7, fans, on senior night here at the Pit. I'm George Young along with Byron McClure and Mike Woods, our Nathan's Body Shop and Wrecker Service sideline reporter. Smoky again will spread the field with 4 wides. Trips near side and 1 up top. Hanson shotgun. Grabs the snap. It was a high one. Hands to Frady. Frady picks up the first down. Still moving. 15 to about the 12-yard line. They'll stop the clock briefly to move the chains. 3:53 to go.
Mike Wood, we brought somebody off the far edge over there. Stepped right up and the running back run right by him there. You just can't do that. We've got to make those plays.
Hanson may settle under center for the first time of this game. Now he's going to draw back in the gun now. On 1st and 10 at the Panther 12, lob to the end zone. And it's going to be flag down. Was it caught? Was a flag down, no signal. It looked like he caught it.
It's gonna be pass interference, just to see on who.
Okay, now they finally signal touchdown Smoky. Who was the flag on?
Bailey Watts had man-man coverage.
Then we got defensive pass interference. Franklin.
Pass was complete to Lomenick.
Touchdown down the left side, just a go route there. Bailey never saw the ball coming, had his head turned. Lomenick went up one hand, grabbed the ball. It was a good catch.
3:31 to go in the second. And Smoky has taken a 13-7 lead after the pass was complete to Lomenick in the corner of the end zone. On for the PAT. Juan Yanez out of the hold of Henson. Waiting the snap, it's back. The kick is up, and it looked like it was partially blocked, but it's through and good. 14-7, your new score with 3:31 to go in the second as we head to break across the Franklin Panthers Sports Network. Back at the Pit, 3:31 to go in the second quarter, 14-7. They're going to assess the pass interference call on the kickoff, so Smoky is going to kick off in Panther territory. See if they kick this one deep. And they do, and it's going to be a touchback well into the end zone. So the Panthers have some work to do. 3:31 to go here in the second, and now trailing 14-7, guys.
Yeah, really want to put together one of those drives they put together there in the first quarter to end the first quarter. That was a 4.5-minute clip, and really we're moving the ball okay there, Mike Wood, outside of a couple penalties that last possession.
Yeah, we got cramped up those couple penalties and just got us behind the sticks, couldn't get the mo. I was hoping we'd get a few more yardage there and then flip the field on them, and then they had that great punt return, set them up for a good score.
Gibson under center as Cochran goes in motion on a bootleg. Gibson drops in the pocket, then fires one at the feet of Seth Price. Second down. Coming up at the half, have the RSR CarQuest Auto Parts halftime report here on WFSC, on air and online, and on our Facebook and YouTube feeds. We'll have the senior night festivities here at the pit. 3:26 to go, second quarter. 2nd and 10 for the Panthers at their own 20-yard line. Gibson under center, waits for Cochran to go in motion, takes out, hands to Tyler Harrison. Harrison pushing it far side across the 25 to about the 27-yard line. Nice gain for Harrison. Going to bring up a 3rd and manageable now.
Nice pick up there on the right side and great blocking. Looked like Mariano Rivera got out there out front and made some way.
Down to 3 minutes and 5 seconds left. 3rd down and a long 3, maybe 4 for the Panthers.
Senior Jesse Siegel checking back in on that line.
Scrimmaging for the 27 of the Panthers. Looks like Coach Josh Brooks wants to call timeout. It'll be brought to you by Tassinger's Floor Coverings and Carpet. We haven't checked the Mountain Credit Union scoreboard tonight, Byron. We're about 20 after 8, so some scores should be coming in.
Yeah, let's take a look and see what we got here on the Mountain Credit Union scoreboard. Mountain 6 scores specifically. We still have a first quarter reported score. Brevard and Pisgah all tied up at 7. And then we have Hendersonville up on East Henderson 21-12. Those both, of course, the other games in the Mountain 6 tonight. Irwin up on Tuscola 20-0 in the second quarter. Robbinsville up 21-10 on Andrews. AC Reynolds up 21-7 on TC Robertson. Just a few other scores there in Western North Carolina. And I know some of our listeners, Cherokee is showing up on Murphy right now, 14-6 in the first quarter. Of course, you never know if that score's been reported correctly, but 14-6 is the score right now in Murphy. Cherokee over Murphy in the first quarter.
Out of the timeout, Panthers talk it over. 3rd down and 4 with 2:49 to go. Second quarter. Scrimmaging for their own 27-yard line. On a chilly evening here at the pit. Light rain's been falling from time to time, kind of a light mist. It's a damp evening. Gibson under center. Well, he was ready, but the officials aren't ready. We're talking to the coaching staff. Like Ricky Brindley and the white hat on the far side for Smoky are talking. I don't know what they're talking about.
Had to do something. I got lost here. I was in the field trying to figure it out. So I'll just give you what I heard. Something with Mariano's Perez's equipment. The referee sent him out of the game. Josh says timeout. Why is he going out of the game? They got it figured out, back in the game. Don't quite know everything that went on there.
Third down and 4. Back to action. Hand going to go to Harrison. Not going to get the first down. Stood up at the line of scrimmage and dropped.
Big play there by Lominack. Comes up and makes the stop. Tyler Harrison hesitated for a minute, tried to read him. Thought about cutting it back up inside, but Lominack is certainly one of the best couple athletes there in the white uniforms tonight, and he makes a stop there for the 4th down.
4th down and 4, and Panthers will have to punt it out of there. Down to 2:14 remaining. The wind whips around. Gibson gets the punt out of there, sends it into the stratosphere, and Stevens is going to let it hit at the 30, and it's going to roll down to about the 29. And the Panthers down it there with 1:58 to go in the second quarter. Smoky will take over at their own 29.
Great punt by Blake to get them back under the 30-yard line. And right now, we just need to hold on, guys. Need a big defensive stop right here.
Smoky up 14-7. If you just tuned in. With the football, 4 wide set. Far hash. Henson shotgun. Grabs the snap. Hand going to go to Frady. And Frady chopped down after maybe a yard gain. They have to go after those legs. Frady is a hefty fella, husky fella. And it takes a couple of Panthers to get him down. Brings up 2nd and 8 after a 2-yard gain. Down to 1:39 to go the second. Clock continues to roll. 31-yard line of their very own. Mustangs will send trips to the near side, one up top. Shotgun again for Henson, just going to take the snap and take off. Upended as he falls to the 34. Gains about 2, maybe 3, and a timeout going to be whistled on the field. And looks like Coach Josh Brooks wants to talk it over and maybe get the ball back here, guys. 1:15 remaining in the second quarter. Third down and about 6, maybe 5 to go for the Mustangs.
And Mike, you know, can't stress it enough. It's so tough, the amount of pressure they put on you to defend them on the perimeter of the field. And then they're able to have a running back like Frady or a big quarterback like Henson. They can get chunks 4 and 5 yards at a time just by tucking it and running up the middle. Meanwhile, your linebackers are trying to figure out which side they're running to, you know, on the sweep. We must have Mike in the huddle there.
No, I heard you, Byron. It was just so well put, I didn't have anything to add. You know, they're setting us up in trips there, spreading the field a little bit. Big quarterback running right off tackle. Linebackers' responsibility to make that tackle.
Guys, while we got a minute, we'll go through some of these names here. Seniors tonight that were honored before the game. Of course, that was a short timeout, so we'll try to get to that at halftime.
17 seniors on this Panther 2018 squad. 1:15 to go. Second quarter, 3rd and 5 for the Mustangs. Henson shotgun, grabs the snap, drops deep in the pocket. Pressure is on, trying to set up a little bit of an out. And it's going to be incomplete. Trying to hit Baldwin. Emmett Baldwin at about the 35. It's going to bring on the punting unit. And the other thing it does, it stops the clock. 1:11 to go in the second.
Stops the clock. Little fake handoff there, and he twirls around and ends up rolling to his right side, just puts it over Baldwin's head. And Franklin Panthers are out of timeouts here in the first half.
Well, Henson, it's a high snap, and he gets it out of there somehow, angles it far side, and it's going to be fair caught by Harrison at about the 35. I'm not sure how he got it out of there.
How in the world did he get that out of there, Mike?
I don't know. There's been several punts this year I thought should have been blocked. Snap was real high. The big guy had to go up and get it. We had a good rush on. We were going for that block, and he got it out. Pretty good field position, 36-yard line, 14-7 game, 1:06 left in half.
See what the Panthers dial up offensively at their own 35. So 2 receivers to the near side, 1 up top, and Bailey Watts. Gibson will work under center, the lone back behind him, and Isaac Dewey. He gets the call. Dewey spins it out near side, and then going nowhere. He is going to be hemmed in and dropped at about the 36. He tried to turn the corner, but credit that Smoky defense able to close it off. Down to 47 seconds left in the second. 2nd and 9. Gain of a yard. Shotgun for Blake Gibson. Grabs a snap, drops in the pocket. Looking to go down the seam. And a triple coverage. It is intercepted. Trying to hit Coleman Saunders. Picked off at the 25 with 29 seconds left. That's where the Mustangs take over.
Just thrown right there in the middle of the field. Coleman working his way from the right hash and just did not get to the ball. And safety set up right in the middle of the field and prime for an interception, Mike. How much time we got left?
29 seconds. See what the Mustangs do now. And a 4-wide set for Henson and company. Grabs the snap, just going to hand to Frady. Frady knocked down behind the line of scrimmage for a yard loss. That may do it. Down to 20 seconds left.
Like Brindley's content on taking his touchdown lead into the locker room.
It does appear to be the case. Coming up, we'll have the RSR CarQuest Auto Parts halftime report on WFSC on air and online, and on our Facebook and YouTube feeds. We'll have the senior night festivities. And of course, it's time to head down to the field and check in with Mike Wood, who is with Jay Brooks for the Make It Appliance Coaches' Comments. Mike?
Hey, thank you, George. We're down here with Jay Brooks, offensive line coach. Jay, pretty physical on that outside tonight.
On the perimeter, Smoky Mountain is taking it to us. We've had some big plays to where we've had everybody blocked, and either a corner or a safety comes up and ruins the play for us. I feel like the offensive line is playing pretty well. We have blown some assignments. We're chasing the linebacker instead of doubling to him. We messed up. Instead of fanning the 3 and the 5 technique, double team the 3. We got to correct that stuff. I think we can move the ball on them. We got to reduce our penalties. We're not good enough to overcome penalties. 10 yards is far enough for us.
So it just sounds like it's down in the second half, down to fundamentals. Who can do fundamentals the best, Franklin or Smoky?
Oh, I think so. It's our ball coming out, and it's going to simply come down to who can play their gap on defense, because we play gap sound. We have continued to bring the linebacker through C gap untouched, and he's not making the tackle. When you're untouched, you got to make the tackle. On offense, it's all about gap sound. If you're supposed to block C gap, you block C gap. You're supposed to double the nose, double the nose. If you're supposed to block the 2, you block the 2. And the backs have got to run. Like we're logging their cat, and the back is running up the back of the in the back of the guard. He's got to come on around. You know, if we kick him out, he's got to get underneath. Just the small things that we've been working on since April.
Good deal. Thanks for your time, Coach.
Thank you, Mike. With the halftime comments of Jay Brooks, brought to you by Macon Appliance Mart. All right, fans. On our video feed, YouTube and Facebook. Coming up here in just a few moments, it's the Senior Night festivities on WFSC. It is the RSR CarQuest Auto Parts halftime report with stats and analysis. Hang with us. More to come across the Franklin Panthers Sports Network.
The WNZ Sports Zone is your official headquarters for everything Franklin Panthers. From pullovers to shirts and hats, you'll find it all at Sports Zone. From college to the pros, they've got a large selection of hoodies and sweatshirts at Sports Zone. And they can handle all of
I'd like to say thank you to all the seniors being recognized tonight. We would also like to say thank you to the family.
Dodge Jeep Ram, 556 Highlands Road in Franklin.
I'd like to say thank you to all the seniors being recognized tonight. We would also like to say thank you to the families of all of the seniors. Thanks for all you have done for Franklin High School, and we wish you the best of luck in the future. We'll start tonight with our football team so that they can go ahead and get ready for tonight's game. When your name is called, please step forward. Nick Appel, Betsy, Steve, and Abram Appel. Josh Blackburn, Renee, Haley, and Devin Blackburn. Dylan Cochran, Shemay, Kip, and Dalton Cochran. Sam Conway, Kathy and Troy Conway. Isaac Dewey, Lona, Leroy, and Kiera Dewey. Connor Evans, Patrick and Caitlin Evans. Blake Gibson, Heather, Mike, Lexi, and Clay Gibson. Tyler Harrison, Lori and Jason Harrison, Bethany Steyert, and Cooper Brown. Chris Hedden, Sherry and Glenn Hedden. Ethan Hervey, Elena and Nathan Hervey. Gabe Lamb, Mickey Lamb, Sandy and Terry Breelove. Maddie O'Neill, Stephanie and Glenn O'Neill. Mariano Perez, Sylvia Cobian, and Mariano Perez. Dylan Price, Alicia and David Price, Austin and Seth Price. Coleman Saunders, Rhonda, Chris, and Clay Saunders. Jesse Siegel, Regina and Todd Siegel. Mason Sequoia, Gina Sequoia. Bailey Watts, Aaron, Chris, Ashlyn, and Braden Watts. At this time, the senior football players would like to present Coach Josh Brooks and his coaching staff with a small gift to say thank you for all their hard work and dedication to Franklin football. Let's give the senior football players and their families a well-deserved round of applause. Boys, you are dismissed to the locker room. Good luck tonight. now our cheerleading and dance teams. Taylor Holland, Dorothy Holland, Pam and David Holland. Zoe Whaley, Susan and Tony Waite. A round of applause for your cheerleading and dance singers. And now our band and color guard singers. Zoe Anderson, Andrea Anderson. Samantha Ash, Tony and Amy Ash. Benjamin Bestwick, Carl and Kathy Bestwick. Morgan Bumgarner, Jerry and Angie Bumgarner. Jada Collins, Tony Collins and Lynn Weichel. Elijah Hawkins, Jeff and Maria Hawkins. Brandon Jang, the band parents. Catherine McDonald, Ross and Bonnie McDonald. Alan Martin, Brad and Rebecca Martin. Lexi McLean, Josh McLean. Madison McLean, Josh McLean. Kayla Mellies, Aaron and Kim Mellies. Nevada Montgomery, Tony and Tara Montgomery, Jessica McKinley. Abigail Sanchez, Sophia Santos. Sarah Stamey, Brian and Heather Stamey. Madison Talent, Larry and Maria Talent, Ashley Talent. Esri Villard, Jimmy and Robin Villiard, and Danny Antoine. Alexis Wilson, Andrea Anderson. Your band and color guard singers. And now your volleyball singers. Audie Wallace, Amanda Canzoni, Ashlyn Watts, Aaron Chris, Bailey, and Braden Watts. Your volleyball seniors. Now for women's tennis, Skylar Carpenter, Todd and Sonia Ledford. Women's golf, Riley Stahl, Chris and Angie Stahl. Now for men's soccer, Liam Graham, Monty and Michelle Graham, Nyla and Taryn Graham. Seth Gurney, Dr. Karina Gurney. Mauricio Ramos, Adrian Melendez, Esperanza Ramos, Jonathan Mateo, and Paulina. Trevin Talent, Adam and Deanna Talent, and Emma Talent. Your men's soccer seniors. And for women's cross country, we have Audrey Ballard, but Audrey is competing in the state finals for cross country. Let's give all our seniors another round of applause.
Can concern you. It's easy to come out here and pull a groin or pull a hamstring when you've gotten that hot and then cooled down, and you got to go right back on the field. So out here running some sprints, like you said, Blake Gibson throwing the football around, kicking it, just trying to stay loose.
Maybe we'll check that Mountain Credit Union scoreboard as we wait for the third quarter to begin. At the half, Pisgah is on top of Brevard 14-7. Swain at the half on top of the Carolina Gladiators 39-0. And at the half of a battle between winless teams, North Henderson and Inca, guess what? We're tied at 0.
Wow.
T.C. Robertson and A.C. Reynolds, the Rockets are throttling the Rams 31-7. That one's at the half. Asheville on top of West Henderson 14-7. Hendersonville on top of East Henderson 28-12. And at the half, and this was a confirmed score, at the half, Cherokee is on top of Murphy. You can hear that game down the dial on the radio side on 104.1 WNCC. 14-12 at the half. Cherokee on top of the Bulldogs. Rosman on top of Hayesville, 21-7. And at the half, Robbinsville is on top of Andrews, 27-10. And our friends in Rabun County, big one at Frank Snyder. And at the end of the second quarter, Ravens up 28-14 over the Union County Panthers. And that's a check of the Mountain Credit Union scoreboard. We're just about set to kick things off in the third quarter. It's brought to you by fine folks at League Truck and Performance. Smoky tees it up. We are underway. It's going to be a short kick, and it was hit by a Panther, and then Smoky is going to recover. And then a late flag comes in. We will check the marker here, as it was a muff on the opening kickoff. Official will let us know what exactly transpired. I'm not exactly sure what happened, Mike. You have any idea?
Yeah, I feel like I do. You know, obviously we muffed it, came off the knee, and then I think number 32, Gabe Lamb, went in there fighting for the ball, doing what he's supposed to do, but it was a little bit late. That's what I saw.
Looks like it's going to go against the Panthers, a personal foul. We talked about it in the halftime show. The fact that it's a cold and wet evening. That was a tough ball to handle.
You're talking about take the air out of the sails, man. It got quiet here on the sideline, guys. Tough break.
I think the official's mic ain't working. He's trying to let us know.
Well, it's one thing to fumble it and have them come up with it, but they're going to walk it down inside the 15-yard line.
Yeah, it was at about the 30 where the ball was recovered after the muff. So the Mustangs have great field position at the Panther 14 to begin this third quarter. Henson out of the gun, grabs the snap, going to hand off to Frady, and Frady chopped down after about a 4-yard gain, dives to the 10-yard line. It'll bring up second down, and we'll call it 6.
And it is visible from up here, Mike Wood. You see a lot of heads down even on the sideline there, so hopefully the Panthers can bow their neck here, get a stop.
2nd and 7 officially. Henson shotgun. Claps, grabs the snap, hands to Frady. Left side. Nope, he's going to fake the handoff. He fooled everybody, including the defense, into the end zone. Touchdown, Smoky Mountain. Are they going to mark him at the 1? Fans across the way think it's a touchdown. It's not. They're going to mark it at the 1-inch line. 1st and goal for the Mustangs.
Again, we talked about his ability. He's a big guy, but he can scramble. Called his own number right there.
Under center. Takes out. Hands to Frady. Frady's in, touchdown. Almost untouched. Blackburn got his hand on him late as he breezed past him. And the Mustangs are now up 20-7 with 10:46 to go in the third quarter, capitalizing on the muffed kickoff to begin the third quarter. Wow, what a turn of events in this ball game. Awaiting the PAT by Juan Yanez out of the hold of Henson. In a bad snap, he gets it down. The kick is up and no good. He hooked it left. We'll head to break with Smoky up 20-7 across the Franklin Panthers Sports Network.
You can buy a red one, a blue one, any shape, size, or price, on a lot, online, or even from a vending machine. What and how you buy has changed a lot, but one thing has never changed. You buy it from somebody, and the people make the difference. Upfront pricing, market-based trade-ins, service after the sale, and never ever any games or gimmicks. That's the Smoky Mountain way.
And these are the Smoky Mountain people. Smoky Mountain Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 556 Highlands Road in Franklin.
Welcome back to the pit as the kick was fair caught, I believe, at the 30 officially, even though Saunders took off with it. They're going to mark it back at the 30. Got it to about the 35. They blew the whistle. They're going to mark it back at the 30 as the fans don't like it. The Panthers take over.
I've always said these young kids, they're usually pretty honest, their body language. They look pretty stunned to me, Mike.
Yeah, they look stunned, and the coaching staff and everything. I did not see the fair catch by him.
I didn't either.
10:44 to go third quarter, 20-7 Smoky. Panthers, first offensive possession in this second half. Gibson works out of the shotgun, grabs the snap, fires one far side. Climbing the ladder is Saunders, catching it, but going nowhere. He is hemmed in and dropped. Forward progress marked at the 35, gain of 5. 2nd and 5 coming up. Portions of tonight's game on WFSC brought to you by Dodge Packaging Specialties, your hometown commercial and industrial supplier of paper towels, janitorial supplies, packaging materials, safety materials, and a lot more. Prompt free delivery, 369-7584. It's DodgePackaging.net. Served Macon and surrounding counties for over 35 years. 2nd and 5, swing pass complete. Near side, 35, breaking a couple of tackles up to about the 37, maybe the 38-yard line is Cochran. It's going to bring up a third manageable now, third and a long 2.
Those corners playing tight on that pass right there, Mike. Maybe set them up for something deep here in a minute.
Ticking towards 9 minutes, 45 seconds left, third quarter. Panthers work quickly. Twins up top. Quick handoff right up the middle to Price. Price going to pick up the first down, fights forward to about the 44. That'll stop the clock briefly with 9:36 to go in the third quarter. Still got a lot of time in this ball game. No need to panic at this point.
No need to panic. It's just a matter of these kids getting some wind back in themselves, Mike.
Yeah, we got to get a little momentum going here, get some first downs, move those chains, put a score on the board, and then put it within in touching zone here.
1st and 10, making Furniture Mart first down at the Panther 43. Near hash. Twin receivers up top. Swing pass complete. Watts at the 40, 45, 47. Before he is hemmed in and taken down. Watts gains about 3 yards. It's going to bring up 2nd and 7. Taking under 9 minutes remaining. Now third quarter. Mark it back at the 46. 2 receivers to the near side as the Panthers will work from the far hash. Blake Gibson, senior quarterback on senior night, settles under center, 4 down lineman for the Mustangs. Takes out, hands to Dewey. Dewey following his blockers across the 50 into Mustang territory, taken down at about the 48. He's going to be a yard shy of the line to gain. 3rd and a yard coming up. 8:30 to go, third quarter.
That short field over there on that side, Mike. Not as much room to move laterally. Dewey forced up the field and got a good gain.
Yeah, put his head down there, ran right off tackle, north and south. Good game. We're in 4-down territory, I believe.
On 3rd down, right up the middle goes Price. He's still fighting. We'll see where they mark him. It looks like he got enough for the first down. And we'll move the chains down to the 46.
Mike, is this not a more physical Mustang team than you've seen in recent years?
Looks like Seth's down there. 28. Is that 28? I can't see. He's down on the ground.
Do have an injured player.
Looks like he's grabbing his head there.
It does look like it's Seth Price.
He got held up, stood up, and then linebacker came in and smacked him pretty good. Yeah, Smoky's got definitely they're a better team than they've been in the past. They're more athletic, got that good defensive line, and then just like Coach Jay said at halftime, that number 4, great athlete over there on the Smoky side.
They're attending to Price, who was down at basically the top of the F in midfield. Lynette Gibson is out tending to him. Coach Brooks is out talking to him as well. So we will take a break, a 1-minute break across the Franklin Panther Sports Network.
WNZ Sports Zone is your official headquarters for everything Franklin Panthers. From pullovers to shirts and hats, you'll find it all at Sports Zone. From college to the pros, they've got a large selection of hoodies and sweatshirts at Sports Zone. And they can handle all of your screen printing, engraving, and embroidery. The WNZ Sports Zone, located in the Franklin Plaza Shopping Center. Open 9 to 8, Monday through Saturday.
Actually working on his knee.
Still tending to Seth Price at midfield at the Panther pit. And we believe when he went down, he hit his head on the turf. That's the consensus. It looks like they're going to get him up and help him to the near side now. Well, we say that, but he is not putting pressure on that right leg, right ankle, being helped off by Coach Brooks and another coach.
It's Dr. Moriarty and
Moriarty.
Coach Josh carrying him off.
So Dr. Moriarty will sure look at him here once they get him to the sideline. And we were talking in the break, that is a big loss offensively and defensively.
Result of the play is a first down.
Ref's got his mic working again. Back to action. Panthers scrimmaging from the Smoky Mountain 46 on first down and 10. The clock starts to roll. 7:54 to go, third quarter. Smoky up 20-7. Gibson under center. 4 down linemen for the Mustangs. Takes out, drops deep in the pocket. Does Gibson. Looks to heave one and fires it down the near side, and it is incomplete as Bailey Watts was the intended man, but he became the defensive back and knocked it away from the Mustangs.
Actually, a great job by Bailey Watts to go and break that up. Looked for sure like an interception there for Emmett Baldwin.
To bring up 2nd and 10. 7:37 to go in the third. Franklin trails 20-7. Work from the far hash once again on 2nd down. On the Mustang 46. Gibson takes out. Got a hand, far side. That's Isaac Dewey. Dewey for about 3 yards to the 43, maybe the 42-yard line. 3rd and long coming up. 7:26 with a ticking clock in the third quarter. Work quickly. Gibson at the line under center. Grabs a snap, 2-step drop, heaving it in the flat, complete. Cochran, first down, 35, 30, down to about the 24-yard line. Cochran wrestled out of bounds after a big gainer. That'll move the chains, making Furniture Mart first down.
Big play by number 4 when you need it, Mike.
Yeah, nice little 5-yard out by Dillon. He got the rest of the yardage on his own. Fought that kid for the extra 3 or 4 yards.
7:05 to go in the third. 20-7 Smoky. Near hash at the Mustang 23. Gibson grabs the snap, gonna pitch it to Dewey. Dewey pushes it far side across the 20. So he cuts it up 19, maybe the 18-yard line. Dewey able to gain right at 5 yards. So 2nd down and about 5 coming up. 6:40 with a ticking clock, third quarter.
Going to need him to be real big right here, guys.
Portions of tonight's game brought to you by Tassinger's Floor Coverings and Carpet One. They work with over 1,000 stores to get the best prices and the best service around. Come on, see Big Billy Hanley for all of your floor covering needs. Tassinger's Floor Coverings and Carpet One. Swing pass to Watts. He caught it and then was upended for a 2-yard loss at the 20. He did a somersault in the air. He's getting up gingerly. Gotten the wind knocked out of him. 7:05. The clock continues to roll in the third. Down to 20 on the play clock. 3rd down and 6 coming up for the Panthers at the Mustang 20. Down to 12 on the play clock as Gibson comes
Gotta go.
under center. And we've got whistles, and looks like a timeout going to be called by Franklin. So
Timeout, Franklin.
we will keep it here and check that Mountain Credit Union scoreboard. 20-7 Smoky on top. 5:40 to go. A critical 3rd down and 6 coming up for the Panthers. As in the third quarter now, Hendersonville has extended their lead over East Henderson, 35-12. Pisgah and Brevard at the half. It remains 14-7. And the other score of interest, Cherokee is still on top of Murphy, 14-12. That one is at the half as well. That's a check of the Mountain Credit Union scoreboard. And, well, with 5 minutes, 40 seconds left in the third quarter, still got a lot of time left in this ball game, but this is a critical 3rd down and 6.
It's big, and it seems like the last 6 minutes have been huge. It started off, we had somebody just message in here, want to know how Smoky Mountain scored so quick. If you're just joining us, the opening kickoff was fumbled, and a 15-yard personal foul penalty put Smoky Mountain inside our 15. Couple plays later, they punch it in, and that's why you're down 21-7 right now.
Out of the timeout. Gibson check that. He's going to work out of the gun. Take out, pitch one in the flat, complete. But he's going to be well shy of the first down. Noah Sitton was falling down when he caught that one at about the 16 out of the 15. Well shy, 4th down and 3 coming up.
Ball thrown behind him. Actually a pretty good job of hauling that one in. But where it was thrown, he was not able to get any extra yards out of it.
15 to go, third quarter, 4th and 4. Gibson under center. He barks at the line of scrimmage. Mustangs don't bite. Now he takes out, drops in the pocket, heaves one near side, complete, 1st down and more. Cochran to the end zone. Did he make it? Yes, touchdown Franklin. What a pitch and catch and what a run by Cochran. That's an ultimate truck and golf car touchdown, and the Panthers are now within 7 points. It's 20-13, 4:58 to go, third quarter.
Just hit little Dylan Cochran out here in the flat. Once again, a 5-yard out. And I'm telling you, the kid fought his way into the end zone for 6 for the Panthers. Big score there, guys.
PAT brought to you by Pennington's Paint Body. Sam Conway to attempt it. Waiting the snap. It's back. Gibson gets it down. The kick is up, and it's good. 20-14, your new score with 4:58 to go in the third. We'll take a break across the Franklin Panthers Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Bryson Burt with Homestar Mortgage. I am a direct mortgage lender and I finance dreams. Are you ready to buy a home? Good news, I can help you achieve the dream of home ownership. We have programs that can allow you to finance the dream with 0 money down. Here at Homestar Financial, we take pride in helping our clients find the perfect mortgage that fits their needs. If you or anyone you know is looking to purchase a home, let me help finance their dream. Call me today or stop by my office.
Welcome back to the pit as Conway approaches the football, sends it high and deep, and picking it up at about the 9-yard line. It's Cole Lamb. He's going to race up to the 20 and then get pushed back there. So they mark forward progress. Looks like it's going to be right at the 19-yard line. So that's where the Smoky Mountain Mustangs take over. 1st down and 10. Now up just 6, 20-14, your new score. 4:48 to go, third quarter. The marking actually out to the 22-yard line. The line judge had marked it back briefly. See if the Panther defense can come up big here, maybe cause a turnover. Something that the Mustangs began this corner taking advantage of, a muffed kickoff. That's how they scored so quickly in this third quarter. Hand goes. Now we've got whistles and a flag before the snap. See if the official's mic is working. They're discussing it now. 4:46 to go in the third quarter. Here at the pit on a chilly and damp evening.
Dead ball, offside on the defense. 5-yard penalty.
So the defense got a little happy and jumped into the neutral zone. It's a 5-yarder. 1st and 5 coming up for the Mustangs.
We've been 5-yarded to death tonight,
yeah.
it seems like down
Absolutely. Uncharacteristic. James Henson and the Mustangs send 2 wide receivers up top and one to the near side. And goes in motions. That is Stevens on the end around. Defense gets the call. Weaving in traffic. 30. Shakes one defender. 35. Shakes another tackle. 40. Out of bounds at about the 44-yard line. Big gainer. 1st down for the Mustangs.
Just not going to be able to tackle just with arms tonight, Mike. And we saw a lot of arms reaching out there trying to get him. But how quick is number 14?
Yeah, I mean, you and I are the biggest Panther fans here. We root for them like crazy, but there was 3 missed tackles there that should have been made. Got to tell it like it is.
43-yard line. of their very own, the ear hash. Henson sends 2 wide receivers up top and 1 to the near side. Working out of the shotgun, grabs the snap, going to hand to Frady. Frady gets a block, 45, 46, maybe the 47-yard line before he is upended. Going to bring up second down, 5. 4 minutes, 24 seconds left in the third quarter. 20-14, Smoky on top.
Go ahead, Mike.
I'm
I'm
just
sorry.
going to say number 8, Keato, filling in for Seth Price there at linebacker.
Price still on the bench after getting injured. Last offensive possession for the Panthers. Man goes in motion. Henson fakes the jet sweep, takes off right up the gut. 50, 48, first down. We're going to mark him back, though. May not be a first down. Well, now they say it is across the 48.
And again, just so much attention. Your linebackers are just eyeing number 14 or number 4 as they come on that jet sweep. And when Henson takes it out of their gut and decides to call his own number, he's a load. He's going to fall for 5-6 yards every time.
Now they're going to bring the chains on from the far side. Portions of tonight's game on WFSC brought to you by Swain Collision on Lake Emery Road in Franklin. They can repair all vehicles from the small economy cars to the big trucks to the big RVs. They'll work with all insurance companies, and they'll restore your auto to just like it never happened. Off of Lake Emery Road in Franklin, it is Swain Collision and Auto Body. They stretch out the chains. And it's enough for a first down. 3:40 to go in the third. 1st and 10 at the Panther 48 for the Mustangs.
One thing Smoky Mountain has not done to themselves like Franklin tonight, they have not put themselves in a bad position with penalties, playing behind the sticks. Let's see if that changes.
3 wide set. Henson grabs the snap, drops in the pocket, fires in the flat, complete. Stevens. 40. Stevens shakes one defender, another spins again, and then finally hemmed in and dropped at about the 38-yard line, close to the sticks. Gain of right at 10 for Stevens.
Shifty out there, kept the play going. When you're playing against a kid like that, Mike, just important defensively, you just break down. Don't take yourself out of the play. As long as he's not moving north and south, he can go. He can juke and jive all he wants, and 14 certainly can do it.
It is going to be enough for a Mustang first down. 1st and 10, 3:10 to go in the third. Man goes in motion. Again, Henson just going to fake that jet sweep, take it right up the gut. 35, 33-yard line. Dobbs forward. Gains about 6. Going to bring up 2nd and short. 2:54 with a moving clock, third quarter.
They are just grinding. This looks like a traditional Franklin move here. Just grinding clock. First downs, 5 yards at a time.
2nd and 5. Henson waiting the snap, grabs it, hands to Frady. Left side, Frady picks up the first down. Inside the 30, 25 to about the 24. Maybe the 22. Stops the clock briefly to move the chains. 2:31 to go in the third. Smoky up 20-14 and driving in Panther territory. They're marked at the 22.
Pulling 2 of those big guards there, and just backers getting right in back behind them, gaining 5 at a clip.
Henson grabs the snap, fires one that's going to be picked off at the 20, the 30, coming back this way, 40, 45, and then body slam was Cochran by Stevens. That's a big turnover, guys.
Well, that's a break we needed right there. And with the way that we moved the football there just a minute ago, hopefully we'll be able to travel 52 yards and take the lead on this one. I misspoke a minute ago. I forgot about the extra point. 20-14 is the score if you're listening to us.
Number 4, Dylan Cochran, senior, comes up big again, playing his own defense there. Had that curl area. Quarterback threw it right to him, hit him in the chest.
2:07 to go, third quarter, 20-14. Franklin trails by 6. Gibson, after the turnover, takes out. But a hand to Harrison. Harrison into Mustang territory, 50, 48, maybe the 47. Harrison gains about 4. It'll bring up second down, 6.
Panther fans, too, if you want to know, losing Seth Price there to an injury there in the last possession. Why is that so big for us? Not only the linebacker position, but he gets about a third of those carries out of the backfield. And to be quite frank with you, might be one of the best blocking backs that we have, Mike.
Yes, he does. But old Tyler Harrison back there, tough kid. He's got a look in his eye. I'd hand it to him again, guys.
Minute 30 to go as the pass goes into the flat, complete to Bailey Watts. Caught it down to about the 40-yard line goes Watts. That'll be enough for Macon Furniture Mart. First down, move the chains, and the crowd getting into it now.
Like to see Bailey Watts get it going right here.
Minute 26, clock ticks, third quarter.
Gosh,
it back at the 40. Sorry, Byron.
I was going to say, watch Andre run off that field. Let's put a helmet on him.
He had his chance.
The wind picks up in our crowd, Mike. First and 10, and at the 41 of the Mustangs. Gibson takes out, drops deep in the pocket. He's going deep. Going for Watts, and he can't come up with it. Watts was flanked by two Smoky defenders. That's going to bring up second and 10.
Mike described that. Looked like safety picked him up early, too.
Well, they had single coverage out here, safety over the top. Bailey ran a little delay go route across a little towards the goal post. Hit him in the hands. You know, senior, he could have caught that. It would have been a fantastic ESPN catch, but had a chance.
Second and 10 at the Mustang 41 for the Panthers. 59 seconds left, third quarter. Gibson takes out, hands to Harrison, trying to turn the corner, does 40. Harrison out of bounds at about the 30-yard line. I think he's got enough for another first down.
Love that kid, man. He's all heart, number 10, Tyler Harrison. He beat two people around the corner. That should have been stopped behind the line. Got us a good 5-6 yards.
Give me 10 more of him, and we'll go play any day, Mike.
10 more and give him about 25 pounds.
That would help.
He's all heart, though, man. I've loved having that kid on the team. He's in the locker room, practice field. He's always attentive, a team player.
May have to bring the chains on. We have seen more measurements in this game than we've seen all season. They have to bring them from the far side all the way to this near side.
And Byron, you know, I want to make it clear, we're not getting on number 9, Bailey Watts. He's been a starter for 3 years. We've just seen him make so many fantastic catches. We come to expect that he should catch them. That would have been a fantastic catch.
You ask Bailey right now inside that helmet, he expects to catch those too.
They'll stretch out the chains with 53 seconds left here in the third. And it's going to be enough for a Panther first down.
As I tell you, right now, neither team is outside of turnovers doing a really good job of stopping the other one. Might be a situation, last one with the ball wins tonight. I hope it's the team in red.
Yeah. It just blows my mind, though. High school football, you know, Smoky's moving it down the field 5 yards at a clip, running it, and throwing an interception.
I know. I don't. Yeah.
That's just from a fan's perspective.
Yeah, no, I get it. Absolutely.
I'd give the ball to number 10 again. Let him go. He's got a look in his eye.
Josh Brooks has got somebody getting 6 or 7 yards a clip. I guarantee we're going to keep running it.
You know it.
First and 10 at the Mustang 31. Gibson under center. He takes out, hands to Harrison. Harrison following his blockers. Finds a little bit of a seam. Across the 30, 25, down to about the 24-yard line. Harrison gains right at 7. It's going to bring up second down and short with 38 seconds to go here in the third. Smoky up 20-14 with the Panthers driving at the Mustang 24.
Good job by the senior Connor Evans out there leading the way, giving Tyler Harrison room to operate, giving us a short and very manageable second down.
Down to 10 on the play clock, 20 on the game clock, third quarter. And it's ticking. Second and 4. Gibson hands off to Harrison. And Harrison's going nowhere. And that's pretty much going to do it for the third quarter of action. Third down and right at 5 coming up when we come back for the fourth and final quarter across the Franklin Panthers Sports Network.
You can buy a red one, a blue one, any shape, size, or price, on a lot, online, or even from a vending machine. What and how you buy has changed a lot, but one thing has never changed. You buy it from somebody, and the people make the difference. Upfront pricing, market-based trade-ins, service after the sale, and never ever any games or gimmicks. That's the Smoky Mountain way.
And these are the Smoky Mountain people. Smoky Mountain Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, 556 Highlands Road in Franklin.
You don't have to train like it's the biggest game of the year. That's That's nonsense. Use 1040.com. Your taxes, smart and simple.
Fourth and final quarter about to begin at the Panther Pit, and it's a good one in the Battle of Cowie Mountain 2018. Smoky up 20-14. Panthers, though, driving at the Mustang 26-yard line.
George, that last play went nowhere. Mike Wood, Josh Brooks took exception to something that was going on right there. Explain to the crowd.
Yeah, real quickly as they're coming up to the line, you can't, the lead blocker, the fullback coming out, the defender can't cut his legs from out from under him. That's a penalty.
Third down as the hand goes right up the gut to Sitton. Noah Sitton is going to be a yard shy of the line to gain. Going to bring up fourth down.
Big one right here, Mike. What is that, about a yard, or how much we got?
Right at a yard, it appears. I'll go for it, of course.
A little longer than a yard, Byron.
Gibson under center. Quarterback sneaking it. I don't know. The official, the SAW judge, comes in and marks it. It appears he's got enough. But they may have to bring the chains on once again. And they will. Portions of tonight's game on WFSC brought to you in part by April Chastain and the staff at April's Flowers on Main. Go by and see her for all of your life's events. It's April's Flowers on Main. They handle anything from the small arrangements to the big special events. 524-3223. April's Flowers on Main says go Panthers. They stretch out the chains. And it's a first down.
Oh, that's big. We need that. We need that. We need to keep this ball rolling right here.
11:18 to go, fourth quarter. Franklin trails 20-14, but now at the Mustang 20-yard line. First and 10. Gibson under center with Sitton behind him. And a hand goes to Tyler Harrison. Harrison tries to find a seam up the gut, can't. No gain, second down.
Not much happening over there on that right side. That Smoky Mountain defense has been pretty good tonight, but I will tell you this. I think our guys in red there, Mike, are starting to really maneuver up front and give Tyler Harrison some room to operate on this drive.
Yeah, and he's hitting that hole pretty quick. You know, earlier we were a little slow getting to the hole. He's hitting it pretty hard and fast. He's going to break one here in a minute.
On second down. And going to go to Harrison again. He slips down as he tries to plant. Or was that Cochran? No, it was Harrison. Cochran comes up a little gimp on one of his ankles. He's going to come off. Coleman Saunders going to take his place. Harrison gains about 4 yards down to the 16. It's going to bring up third down and 5 for the Panthers as we tick towards 10 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Working for the near hash at the Mustang 16. Gibson takes out. Going to swing one out, complete, but he fell to the turf and gained nothing. In fact, he lost a couple of yards. Bailey Watts. Fourth down and long now.
Looked like the cornerbacks were pressed up a little bit right there, Mike, and I think Blake felt the pressure to get rid of that one quickly. Not his best throw.
Fourth down and 7. Offense remains on the field for the Panthers. They have not started the play clock yet. The game clock continues to roll. Unless the play clock is not working.
Josh just told the official, I'm not going to call the play until the play clock starts. Game clock's running, 9:19, 20-14.
Play clock still has not started. Now a timeout going to be called by Coach Brooks. We'll keep it here. Critical fourth down.
Got to charge timeout, Franklin.
9:10 to go in the fourth quarter. Fourth down and officially 7 yards to get. And the ball will be at the 18 of the Mustangs.
Had this ball for about 5 minutes, guys. Hate to have to give this thing up right here without getting anything out of it.
Remember last week we had a 3rd down and 12, and then right after the next 4 downs we had a 3rd down and 13 or 14. Made both of those with passes across the middle. The only thing tough for Josh in that respect, they feel like one of the best athletes on Smoky Mountain is number 4, which is their free safety right in the middle of the field. So I don't know if they're going to challenge him on this 4th down and 7.
Panthers scored their only touchdown in this half on a 4th down play. Timeout brought to you by Tassinger's 4 coverings and carpet 1. Spot the ball down on the far hash. 4th and 7 at the Mustang 18. Gibson shotgun. Grabs the snap. Drops in the pocket. Plants the foot. Fires incomplete. Trying to hit Coleman Saunders. And the Panthers will give it up to the Mustangs at their own 18.
Mike, I'm going to let you call that one there. I sort of lost sight of that one.
Yeah, I'm guessing over here, but I think maybe a wrong route or something. Blake was looking for number 14, Coleman Saunders, to do about a 10-yard curl into the middle. He kept running straight. Blake threw it into the middle. Nothing there.
9:06 to go in the 4th quarter. Smoky up 20-14. They get it back at their own 18. James Henson, their hefty quarterback, will set up in the gun. Clapp grabbed the snap. Hand to Frady. Frady pushes it far side. He's chopped down after a yard. That'll bring up 2nd and 9 for the Mustangs. Under 9 minutes remaining.
And I'd say from this point on, if they're able to get 3-4 yards a run, they might have learned their lesson. I don't know that we'll see them throw it unless their back's against the wall right here.
2nd and 8. Gain of 2 for Frady. Henson sends a man in motion. He is going to get the handoff as the jet sweep motion works across the 20-25. Goes Emmett Baldwin. Gains about 6 yards. Going to bring up 3rd down and 3. 8:16 with the ticking clock in the 4th quarter.
Some kind of jump move and acceleration right there at the line of scrimmage. Got him those 3 or 4 yards.
Taking under 8 minutes in the 4th. 3rd down and 3.
That kid started as a freshman, didn't he, Byron? That Frady kid?
Been playing a lot, yep. Been playing a while.
At the Mustang 25. Frady takes out, big hole. 1st down and more, right up the gut, 40 to the 50. Frady at the 40, the Panthers, 30 down to about the 25. Finally hemmed in and dropped. You can hear the Mustang crowd from across the way. Big run, and it wasn't fancy, right up the gut.
Puts them down there about the 25, 26-yard line. That's the kind of play right there, though, that certainly Panther defense got to reach down deep right here.
7:36 as the clock starts to tick. Snap, hand to Frady, right up the middle once again, and he's loose. 20 down to about the 14, maybe the 13-yard line. That'll move the chains, and the Mustangs are in the red zone, knocking on the door, up 20-14, 7:27 to go in the 4th.
Dustin Stevens coming on that jet sweep, and it faked to him so fast. Of course, he demands every guy in the secondary there to take a glance at him, but then you hand it off to Frady. So powerful, George, right up the middle.
Down to 7:15 in the 4th quarter. 1st and 10 at the Panther 13. And to Frady, right up the middle again. Close to the end zone. Going to be about a yard shy. Like a hot knife through butter. Can't stop Frady. 1st and goal.
Mike Wood, we've got a new linebacker, and you said it was Chiata?
Yeah, Chiata took Seth's place out there.
Down to the 2 officially. 1st and goal. Mustangs will break the huddle, seeking their first victory over the Panthers since 2007, the last time the Mustangs beat the Panthers. Jet sweep to Stevens. He's going to walk into the end zone for the touchdown. 26-14 your new score with 6:33 to go in the 4th. Awaiting the PAT. They may go for 2.
Just a jet sweep around the left side. There was nothing on the outside. He cut it up right by the tackle, walked in the end zone for 6. Man, what a change in mode there. Umpiring from 5 minutes ago. We were driving, getting ready to score and go ahead.
It was a killer, no doubt about it.
And we'll go for 2, the Mustangs. As again, Stevens on the jet sweep. He'll get the call, and he will walk into the end zone. So that extra point that Smoky missed has been recovered. It's now 28-14 as we head to break. 6:33 to go in this one across the Franklin Panther Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Bryson Burt with Homestar Mortgage. I am a direct mortgage lender and I finance dreams. Are you ready to buy a home? Good news, I can help you achieve the dream of home ownership. We have programs that can allow you to finance the dream with 0 money down. Here at Homestar Financial, we take pride in helping our clients find the perfect mortgage that fits their needs. If you or anyone you know is looking to purchase a home, let me help finance their dream. Call me today or stop by my office.
Is away, and it again looks like a muff.
Coleman Saunders took the kickoff on the short left side, moved around to the right hash, coming up the field, fumbled the ball. Smoky Mountain took it.
And now we've got a late flag as Saunders came up with the football. I missed the fracas as we were coming back from break, and I think something was said to the official. And this is going to be a 15-yarder on the Panthers. We've seen 2 muffed kickoffs all in this second half and have been huge plays in this game. The official's mic was on. Some of the players were hollering at him. He's telling them to be quiet now so he can signal.
Sportsmanlike Franklin.
Sportsmanlike conduct on Franklin, and this is going to set the Mustangs up at the 12-yard line of Franklin after the muffed kickoff. And both of the muffs we had a 15-yarder on. Henson works out of the gun for the Mustangs. He's going to hand to Frady. Frady weaving his way up the middle. Flag down about the maybe the 8-yard line. And we'll check the marker now. 6:20 to go in the fourth quarter. Smoky up 28-14. Here's the call from the white hat.
On the offense, 10-yard penalty and spot the foul.
So that's a hold on Smoky Mountain. I was going to back him up to the 23-yard line. 1st and 20 coming up with 6:20 to go in the fourth quarter, and Franklin trailing 28-14 to the Smoky Mountain Mustangs. Three wide set. Henson works out of the gun as he has all night. High snap, hands to Frady. Chopped down after maybe a yard. 2nd down. Now the clock is the biggest enemy of Franklin in this ball game.
Senior Gavin Riddle busting through the line there for the tackle.
2nd down and 19 coming up.
Realizing he's most likely playing his last time on this field.
5 minutes, 33 seconds with a ticking clock in the fourth. More whistles before the snap. Equipment issues are going to send a player off the field for Smoky. Stop the play clock with 7 on it. Now a whistle and a timeout going to be called by Smoky. We'll take one as well. Back after this on the Franklin Panthers Sports Network.
The WNZ Sports Zone is your official headquarters for everything Franklin Panthers. From pullovers to shirts and hats, you'll find it all at Sports Zone. From college to the pros, they've got a large selection of hoodies and sweatshirts at Sports Zone. And they can handle all of your screen printing, engraving, and embroidery. The WNZ Sports Zone, located in the Franklin Plaza Shopping Center. Open 9 to 8, Monday through Saturday.
Welcome back to the pit. 5:27 to go. Out of the timeout, Smoky will set up at the Panther 23. 2nd and 19. As the jet sweep motion goes to Stevens. We've got a flag down. Stevens weaving his way to about the 20-yard line before he is knocked out of bounds. Again, we'll check the marker as we've gotten flag happy late in this game. 5:18 remaining. Clock is stopped in the 4th.
Smoky, 10-yard penalty from spot of the foul.
He's going against the Mustangs. I'll push him back across the 30 to the right at the 35-yard line. It's going to be 2nd down and a country mile for the Mustangs. 5:18 to go in the 4th on a cold and wet November evening at the pit on senior night. Shotgun for Henson. Grabs the snap. He takes out and he's going to hand to Frady, who's loose. 30, 25. Frady to the 20, down to about the 19-yard line before he is hemmed in and dropped. Blackburn got him. Keep the clock moving. And with 5 minutes remaining, 3rd down and about 15, maybe 16. Able to gain a chunk of that penalty yardage back was Frady. 4:50 to go. Ball spotted down to the 18-yard line of the Panthers. 28-14, Smoky on top. 2 critical muffed kickoffs in this game. Smoky has recovered both. Henson works out of the gun. Shift is tight end. Now we've got some movement and more flags. That one's going to go against the Mustangs. As guard pulled a little too early there.
He got the play, just got the count wrong.
4:27 to go in the 4th. That'll back them up 5 to the 23. 3rd and 21.
George will try to update the Mountain Credit Union scoreboard as well. Looks like Pisgah is in total control over in Brevard tonight. 21-7 in the 4th quarter over Brevard is Pisgah.
More whistles before the snap. Another timeout. Smoky calls timeout. We'll take one. 4:12 to go in the 4th. Smoky up 28-14. Back after this on the Franklin Panthers Sports Network. back to action as the Mustangs will hand in the backfield to Cody Lomenick. Lomenick upended maybe a yard. In fact, he lost a couple. I'll say. Going to bring up 4th and long for the Mustangs. Clock continues to tick. We're under 4 minutes remaining in the 4th.
Tyler Harrison comes up, makes the play there for the Panthers.
And the 3:47. 4th and 21. 22 at the 25. We'll go for it on 4th down. Henson out of the gun. Awaiting the snap. He grabs it. Hands to Frady. And he's going nowhere. So Panthers get it back. 3:20 to go at their own 23-yard line. Trailing 28-14.
Guys, I mistakenly had Gavin Riddle graduating this year just a minute ago, and I had Ryan Raby tell me different. But I do want to mention some names here. If you're just tuning in, Nick Appel on senior night, Josh Blackburn, Dylan Cochran, Sam Conway, Isaac Dewey, Connor Evans, Blake Gibson, Tyler Harrison, Chris Hedden, Ethan Hervey, Gabe Lamb.
Gibson out of the gun on 1st down. He's going to fire it in the flat complete. Coleman Saunders, 30, slung out of bounds at about the 32. Gains about 7, does stop the clock. 3:13 to go in the 4th.
Manager Matty O'Neill, Mariano Perez, Dylan Price, Coleman Saunders, Jesse Siegel, Mason Sequoia, all kids that are playing their last game here at the Panther Pit as a senior.
2nd and 2. At the 31, another swing pass. It's complete to Saunders, far side, flag down, 1st down, 35, out of bounds at about the 40, 41-yard line. Let's check the marker. It's back at the line of scrimmage. 3:08 to go in the 4th. Smoky up 28-14.
Holding on the offense. 10-yard penalty from spot the foul.
Holding going against the Panthers. It's going to make it 2nd down and 12. Mark it back at the 23. Most likely the Panthers will make the playoffs. Most likely a long road trip for us in 2 weeks. November 16th when the playoffs begin. 4 wide set on 2nd and 12. Gibson going to throw back across the field to Dewey out of the backfield, and Dewey going to catch it at about the 30, up to the 40, out of bounds. Mark it back at the 39. Dewey picks up enough for making Furniture Mart 1st down. 2:52 to go, 4th quarter. Stops the clock as Dewey got out of bounds. Move the chains. Gibson once again works out of the gun, fires it. Incomplete. Saunders wasn't looking for it. 2nd down, 10. 2:50 to go, 4th quarter. Playoffs don't begin next week. They are in 2 weeks because of the hurricane. The High School Athletic Association delayed the start to allow the eastern side of the state to make all their games up. Swing pass again. Near side, complete. Cochran fights off one defender up to the 40, 42-yard line. He is tackled there. 3rd down and long.
First defender, Damon Figueroa, misses there. Dylan Cochran makes him miss. Able to get a few more yards on the play. Unfortunately, it's still 3rd and long.
Trips up top on 3rd and long. Gibson, long drop, fires it. Far side. Trying to hit Cochran, incomplete, but lots of flags on the Panther Pit carpet. And this one most likely is going to go against Smoky Mountain. Cochran got up pretty happy.
Defensive pass interference, Smoky Mountain.
That'll push it across the 50 after the penalty. 2:22 to go in the 4th. 28-14. Franklin is trailing Smoky. Mustangs seeking their first win over the Panthers since the last decade, 2007. That was the last victory. That was a Saturday night affair.
I remember I was in the bed sick, couldn't be with you that night. You were by yourself on the radio. Actually,
Keith,
you did have somebody with you.
I think Keith was with us.
Yeah, Keith helped you.
Keith and Travis, I believe, were there. It was an ugly night. I remember it. Into Mustang territory, got the 43. Cochran rolls near side. Passes complete to Cochran, 35. Stopped at about the 34. Close to the 6. Think he's going to be a yard shy. Clock going to continue to roll down to 2:10 remaining. And we've got whistles. And the clock stops, 2:11. An official has some issues on the near side. Are they going to see if it's a first down or not again to bring the chains across? We've seen this a number of times tonight. Unbelievable.
And they're all over here on this side of the field. Checking up on that Mountain Credit Union scoreboard, George, if we want to do that. Take a look here and just repeat some of the scores there. Pisgah up 21-7 over Brevard. That's fourth quarter. Hendersonville has finally put East Henderson away 55-12. Some other action. Now we've got a score in Murphy. 42-14 now Murphy over Cherokee. That's a fourth quarter score. Robbinsville is up 48-31 over Andrews. And some other scores there. Tuscola down big to Irwin in the third quarter, 35-0. And Inca in the battle of the winless, up 14-0 over North Henderson.
Going to be shy of the first down by about the length of the football. And bring it out and mark it. 2:11 to go, fourth quarter. Franklin trails in this one, 28-14, if you just joined us. It began terribly, about as bad as you could dial it up for the Panthers. Get the opening kickoff muffed, and Smoky recovers. Franklin was going to get the kickoff, only trailing by a score.
Muffed, and then a 15-yard penalty to boot.
And it just went downhill after that. Panthers did show some life, but then another muffed kickoff. Another whistle. Second down in a couple of inches for the Panthers. More whistles, more discussion. Did have a question on Facebook about possibly where the road trip would be in the playoffs. Who knows?
No idea. We quit doing prognostications on that when Max Prep rankings.
2:11 on the clock.
Okay, they got to change the clock to 2:11.
Yeah, but just to reiterate there, a few years ago, they started using Max Prep rankings into the factor there. So when they decided playoff seeding, so we are going to refrain from guessing.
Gibson takes off on a quarterback sneak right up the middle down to the 30-25-yard line. That'll move the chains. 2:04 to go in the fourth.
It's a quick hitter.
Right up the middle. 28-14 Smoky. Late in the fourth. Gibson drops in the pocket. He's one to the end zone. Wide open in the back of the end zone. Bailey Watts caught. Touchdown Franklin. Minute 57 remaining here in the fourth. And Franklin has put 6 on the board. That's an Ultimate Truck and Golf Car touchdown. 28-20 awaiting the PAT. Life here for the Panthers. Need an onside kick. Both teams have one timeout remaining. Conway to attempt the Pennington's Paint and Body PAT. It's up. No good. He hooked it right. My, oh my. We had to break across the Franklin Panthers Sports Network. Yeah, we're clear, but
After a 5-yard penalty, half a distance to the goal. Retry, extra point.
All right. There was a flag on the play, so they're going to retry the kick. Conway will line it up again. And he kicks, this time right down the middle. So, after the first one was no good, it's now 28-21. Well, on the radio side, we took a break. On the Facebook and YouTube side, we did not. Luckily, we did not, because there was a running in the kicker penalty, and it allowed the Panthers to re-kick. And the second time was the charm for Sam Conway, able to split the uprights. And now it's 28-21 with 1:57 to go. Panthers just down by 7 points. And I'm sure an onside kick about to be attempted by.
Yeah, let's talk to the special teams man, Mike Wood, right here.
Yeah, definitely onside kick. You know, usually kick it right through the middle there like we've done in the past. Hopefully we can get a bounce off a white jersey there and grab it back.
So we'll see what Conway will dial up here.
They've got some hands up here tight, don't they? Lominack and Stevens both. Emmett Baldwin trying to figure out which side of the field they need to be on.
Conway is ready. He gets the whistle from the official, approaches the football. He's going to hit, bounce in the air, and we'll see. It's a big scrum. Who's going to come out of the bottom of the pile with it? Looks like the Mustangs had it initially, and they do.
Couldn't really tell there for a minute there. I usually see some white, one jersey or another jumping up and pointing. Nobody was pointing. A lot of bodies on that football.
So the Mustangs take over at their own 45 with 1:56 and one timeout left. Still need to gain at least one first down to ice this one through the Mustangs. 28-21. Franklin trails by 7. Working the gun once again, as they have all night, with Henson. Grabs the snap, hands to Frady. Frady chopped down in the backfield, and immediately Josh Brooks calls timeout. No gain, 1:52 to go. Start doing the math here, Byron. Panthers could get the ball back.
I'll let the time manager here, Mike Wood, let's talk about that.
Well, what do we got? We got we're on second down, 25 seconds. Could have it back for 25. Yeah, Byron, we could get the ball back here and have a long drive for a miracle win.
25-second play clock in play here. And you can better believe they're going to take it down every time.
And the only thing, you know, when the play's over, they got to reset the ball. That's always usually 7-8 seconds there. So
right.
About 32, 35 seconds per play.
And keep in mind, that is stopping them from getting to the sticks, which has not been an easy thing to do tonight.
So, still in a timeout, by the way, which is brought to you by Passengers, Floor Coverings, and Carpet One.
Do want to mention we've got a couple hundred people on the Facebook feed now.
We're closing in on 200. That's a record. 2nd and 11. 1:52 to go in the fourth. Mustangs at their own 44. As Henson grabs the snap, goes forward to the 50. He's still going to be about 5 yards shy. And that's going to tick the clock down to, we'll see where they start the play clock. 3rd down coming up. 3rd and 6. They start the play clock with 1:34 to go. This will take it down near a minute after the play is run. And if the Panthers can stop them on 3rd down, it'll be 4th down. So you're looking at right about 45 seconds or so. Again, quarterback sneak, Henson. Let's see where they mark him. He's close to the 1st down. And if he gets it, it's over. And looks like he did.
Far side judge has him marked.
Nothing fancy, just a quarterback sneak. Move the chains. This one's in the books, fans. Smoky Mountain will win for the first time over the Franklin Panthers since 2007. and it's going to drop the Panthers to 6-5.
Just tough sledding tonight, and I'll be honest with you guys, we've never had to make a whole lot of excuses up here, but I will tell you this, Seth Price left this game. It became very difficult for us to defend.
And the timeout, and this one is going to be called by the Mustangs. That'll be their final timeout. And we will take a break across the Franklin Panther Sports Network. Smoky takes a knee, and that's pretty much going to do it. Looks like they'll have to take one more knee, as there's 21 on the clock. Yeah, it's going to be about a second. Now there's the knee, and the celebration begins in Silva. The first victory over the Panthers for the Mustangs in 11 years. They'll meet at midfield and shake hands. And we will say adieu on the Facebook Live and YouTube live stream. Hopefully you've enjoyed it wherever you were watching tonight. We saw the stats from the past couple of games. We had folks watching in California, Washington State, Alabama, Kentucky, all over this great nation of ours. Hope you've enjoyed our 4 YouTube Live and Facebook Live broadcast. A lot of folks to thank, and hopefully we'll be back next year for some more YouTube and Facebook Live football broadcasts, but definitely back for the basketball season. That's going to begin at the end of this month. That's going to wrap things up. For Ben Walker, executive producer, I'm George Young, along with Byron McClure and Mike Wood. We're going to continue on the radio side of things here in just a few moments. We've got the Curtis TV Radio Shack postgame show coming up with a Y Insurance Player of the Game that'll be named. We'll take a break. That'll do it on the live web stream across the Franklin Panther Sports Network.
WNZ Sports Zone is your official headquarters for everything Franklin Panthers. From pullovers to shirts and hats, you'll find it all at Sports Zone. From college to the pros, they've got a large selection of hoodies and sweatshirts at Sports Zone. And they can handle all of your screen printing, engraving, and embroidery. The WNZ Sports Zone, located in the Franklin Plaza Shopping Center. Open 9 to 8, Monday through Saturday.